I think it's that I look at my whole life and I see the awful, terrible things in my life and turn it into something funny.
It's time to start the show. The gang is ready. Let's go. Jim and Tim. Jim and Tim. Jim and Tim.
Right now, now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts. Oh no, let's go. Let's go crazy. Let's get nuts.
We are getting nuts in the asylum.
It's crazy.
The asylum is open. Or closed, as it were.
Yeah, closed. You're locked in.
That's a closed thing. I only have the one thing for the door.
That's all you need.
Yeah, but that's the sound the door makes at the asylum.
Yeah. My throat, I feel like every time I swallow, I feel like I have thumbtacks in my throat. I shouldn't be here today.
Especially since that's one of your favorite hobbies.
No, I don't like thumbtacks in my throat. I do my rectum.
I didn't mean thumbtacks.
Oh, okay.
I just meant swallowing in general.
No. Oh, yeah, actually, you're correct. Sorry, I misunderstood it. So I have antibiotics I'm going to take. We'll see how they go.
We'll see. You know what the, excuse me.
I don't like taking off from work.
You know what the benefit of all this is? You can be country Jimmy all day.
Yeah, I feel like I can talk this way and just kind of ease on through the show.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I think so too, because my voice is really going. You okay over there?
Yeah, I am.
Too bad.
Just made me laugh when you said that I was correct about swallowing being one of your all-time great hobbies.
Yeah, so my throat is no better than it was yesterday. I do have antibiotics I'm going to try today.
Sounds a little worse, actually.
I don't know if it feels any worse.
Sounds worse.
Does it?
Significantly worse.
Sexier, but worse.
Well, I did a no set last night. I canceled my sets.
There we go. Okay.
But I did do a 2-hour interview that I had to do in the afternoon after the UFC podcast. I did a lot of talking. CNN. It's for the history of comedy. I had to do it.
Yeah, I guess.
You can't say no to a history of comedy.
That's a good show. You've been watching it?
I've not.
It's good.
So we'll see how it goes today, but I may not be here tomorrow. I'm going to see how I feel. I want to try to come in. I don't like taking off. I hate it.
It's okay. We can. I want
the show will succeed, of course, without me. I just don't like it on principle. I just don't like not coming in.
I just want a healthy Jimmy.
Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll live.
You need to get your rest.
Yes, I do. I did rest. I went to bed at like 9:40, 10, maybe 10:30 last night.
That's good.
So I'm not as tired as normal, but I just feel awful.
I'll tell you though, you do need you need a support system, right? Like we're your support system. And I'm getting kind of exhausted. We have to be Travis's support system now because his family's disowned him entirely. I read in the news. Yeah,
I was quite enjoying the fact that Travis had to deal with all those tweets.
Isn't that great?
How do you look up? I can't look up @mentions. I'll look up Travis Teff's @mentions.
If you just do search for @Travis Teff.
But on the Twitter app, it doesn't work. It only brought his feed up.
If you search,
don't search for my name. Search for.
If you search the Travis Teft and then you just put search instead of touching the name, then the word @Travis Teft will be searched. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean it's a lot.
There was a lot of people who pointed out that the what was the guy's name? His name was Peter Teft.
Pete Teft of Fargo, North Dakota, the family of a white nationalist who joined in the violent supremacy rally in Charlottesville, Virginia on Saturday, has publicly announced that they're disowning him and his hateful beliefs. This is terrible. Pete Teft.
It's also a little shitty that publicly, maybe he's bringing disgrace on the family, but
like nobody's asking.
Yeah, no one needs the mom and dad to go on Twitter and make a statement about their son. Who gives a shit?
Plus, like, if your kid is a white supremacist, you should probably bring him into the house and try to explain to him why being a white supremacist is bad. Not just go, hey, figure it out. It's not good. But if you don't know that, we're not going to help you. It says the Yes You're Racist Twitter account outed Pete Teft. And so his dad, he's probably just a joyful man, went on Facebook. Again, one of the great things of all these older men having Facebook, they all tweet out their political nonsense. And
has your dad put any stuff on Facebook?
My dad doesn't have a Facebook.
Oh, he doesn't?
No fucking way. I have uncles that do, though, and they're the most annoying people in the world. But this guy wrote, I, along with all of his siblings and his entire family, wish to loudly repudiate my son's vile, hateful, and racist rhetoric and actions. We do not know specifically where he learned these beliefs. He did not learn them at home.
It's just annoying that the father has to make a statement. He could just say, we hope he comes back and changes. You don't publicly disavow your kid just so you get some attention.
No, you call him and go, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I mean, especially with that last name. It's got such a history of abandonment by the folks.
It does. The Teft name. I mean, this...
Yeah, I mean, I know how this guy feels. Like, if he needs someone, if he needs a support system, I can be there for him.
I pray for my prodigal son. I pray my prodigal son will renounce his hateful beliefs and return home.
He said he's not welcome at family gatherings.
Pierce Teft.
Calm down.
From Fargo.
Prodigal son. Why must we be guilty by association? Again, none of his beliefs were learned at home. We do not, never hate. We do not, never have, and never will accept his twisted worldview.
This is really, I find the parents and the family more annoying than Pete Teft.
I kind of do too.
Because again, they're making it about them. And people have probably asked them a lot of questions and called them, and they're just trying to go look. But there's a way to make a statement that distances it. Like, this is not our beliefs. Our son's beliefs are his own, not ours.
We're worried about our son. We don't know where this came from, but hopefully he reaches out.
Yeah, this melodramatic shit, you're just making it about yourself.
That'd be like if your kid was on drugs, and you had to go on Facebook and be like, they did not get drugs from the house. We don't use drugs here.
Although there is
we're disowning him.
Someone has a saying that there's a reason that they did this.
What do you think the reason is?
I don't.
The Tefts? There's a reason the Tefts have done this?
Yeah, this guy. Finish reading. Is that statement done? No, is that the whole statement?
Just quotes and stuff. We don't need to read the entire statement, I guess.
All right, James. Why is he doing this?
As bad as I feel that Travis's family has disowned him, I read this morning that the family is getting death threats. So they're not trying to be social media stars. They're getting death threats, so they're trying to distance themselves.
So, yeah, I just don't like the way they did it. Maybe when you're getting death threats, you don't know how to do it.
I guess, but then does that mean that they're sitting there like the dad is like, we need to get death threats, so we need to make sure that we distance ourselves and let everybody know that the villain is our son, Travis?
No. That's not.
Am I getting the article confused? I hope the listeners at home don't end up getting the names confused.
You're darn tootin'.
Oh yeah, but although that's a good point too. But maybe they just want to distance themselves because they don't want people showing up at their house.
Yeah, but it's your kid. Like you go, hey, we don't agree with him.
Who's showing up at a house in Fargo? We
know that, but most people don't. Like, again, death threats for the average citizen who's never gotten a death threat before. They have no idea what to do with it.
You don't need to come to Fargo.
Outrage.
We can settle this right here in Brainerd.
Yeah. they don't know how to, they don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to handle it.
And the Fargo Police Department will be no help.
They'll bungle it.
They're a little bit of a bungling
No, they won't,
department.
but they'll solve it at the end.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Hopefully there's one spirited pregnant woman that's able to
solve this case.
Solve the case, yeah.
The Tefts from Fargo.
They probably tried to get the kid and talk to him. And then the kid was like, I'm out of here. And he was like, wait, let me just go check on something. And he started driving away. And then the cop said, he's fleeing the interview. Suspect is fleeing the interview.
He's fleeing the rally.
You need some true code on that hate sign.
Yeah.
I don't need the true code.
Yeah.
Nah, you don't need that.
Yeah, you don't need that. I'll go talk to the boss. Look, the good news, I can give you... He says, and he normally doesn't do this, I can give you 50% off.
He normally doesn't do this. I love it.
You think the dad looked at his son, little Teft, and went, you're a goddamn liar. You're a goddamn liar.
Yeah, I think the boy called home.
You think so?
Wasn't me, Dad. Pictures were all over.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know how I feel about all this. I mixed emotions with this whole, you're a racist Twitter outing people, like not outing, but people who are walking publicly and saying, hey, but then again, part of me is like, hey, why should you be ashamed if that's how you believe?
If people are making themselves public figures, like I was talking about yesterday, like if you're on the front page of the newspaper and blah, 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 it's like, yeah, you kind of have done that to yourself. But I just don't like people going out of their way to out people, to bring up their names, to bring up their families, their phone numbers, their addresses. It's that doesn't.
Yeah, but it's a public space. It's the same thing where like we've seen like hot girls at a baseball game and like the internet finds out who that is.
Yeah.
You know?
But you don't post their phone number.
No.
You're not like, hey, if you want to date this girl, you can call her up here.
Has that account been posting like personal information or just names?
No, definitely. Well, I don't know if this account specifically, but I've definitely seen other people, like, what's his name, the journalist, Sean King?
Yeah.
Is that his name? Like, there are multiple accounts. This one might be doing it, too. That is definitely publishing
All right, well,
phone
that's
numbers.
different.
Yeah.
Sean King is publishing numbers?
I don't think Sean King is.
I don't know.
Okay. The guy from the Daily News, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just really irritating.
Yeah, I don't like
He is definitely
I think he's full of shit.
outing people and contributing to outing people. I don't know for sure if he specifically is publishing phone numbers, but a lot of people along these lines are publishing phone numbers.
Has the guy who's and again I get the emotion, but the guy whose Twitter is yes you're racist, has he put out his real name?
To my knowledge, no, but I don't know. But I don't think so.
Well, he should.
Right?
I mean, if you're in a public space and you're saying that these are who these people are, it's fair that you say who you are.
Right. Give me a call when you're done giving him a call. Here's my number.
Well, don't even just say, yeah, this is not yes, he's racist.
Troy just looked up yes, yeah, racist. Yeah. Just like I don't mind first names and things like that because Travis is right. You're public and it is what it is. But when you start giving out, employment information, phone numbers, addresses, family members, then it's like now we're in witch hunt territory. Mm-hmm. Doxing, I don't think helps anybody.
Yeah, this was supposed to be a no rough stuff type deal.
Yeah, I just think that this guy, if you're fine to put out this stuff if you want to, but you should put out your own name as well. You should just be a public person. Then you don't want to hide in the shadows and make other people public.
Right.
Give out public scoldings.
It's not right.
Yeah.
Travis, do you think that you're going to reach out to the media and say that the reason you feel the way you do is not because of what your dad taught you in Fargo, but because of what your mom did to you?
Yeah, I mean, all they have to do is just, look at the context.
Right. I mean, I get it. It's not. It is taught in the home in a way. You have to understand that your unique situation doesn't apply to a whole group of people.
Don't generalize.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting information that he has put out his name. Good for him. Yes, Anita in North Carolina.
Hey, good morning. I've called in a couple of times. Yeah, yesterday they were in the local newspaper. It's called the News and Observer. They had an article on this guy. I can't remember his name right now, but he is in the Raleigh area. He's quite enjoying his fame of kind of outing people. And I guess from what I saw in the news this morning, in the Raleigh area, they've torn down or defaced quite a few of the, I guess, Confederate sort of monuments that they've had around the area, which, I'm from the north, so, I don't get that whole thing still after 26 years down here. But, I'm a little torn about this whole thing. I mean, the First Amendment, you might really, really, really not like what they're saying, but they are within their constitutional right to do what they're doing. And had the protesters not shown up in Charlottesville, perhaps there wouldn't have been, the people getting killed, the opposition, and then, of course, that ratchets up the animosity between the two factions.
Yeah, you know what, though?
So,
And I do understand all that, but as far as those monuments are concerned, I don't care that they knock them down.
Really?
I don't give a fuck. Fuck those Southern generals. I'm sick of them anyway.
I think
that stupid Dixie shit. Enough. Get over it.
it really is.
yeah, but
stupid, isn't it?
I mean,
Stupid.
it happened. You can't erase history.
Of course it
and
happened.
I'm not crazy about the Confederate stuff either. I mean, that happened.
You can't
way
erase
before
history.
My
But you don't have to put up statues as if they won. Like they definitely lost.
Exactly. They did get their
But
asses
those are-
kicked.
They got the
But
shit
they've been
kicked
up
out
for-
of them.
But they've been up for decades. These monuments.
Yeah,
it's
so
not
what?
like a recent arrival that all of a sudden said, "Fuck you, we're going to put up," Robert E. Lee or whomever the bad guy was.
So why?
in the Civil War.
Let me ask you out of curiosity. Why are people in the South so married to it? Like, why not just go, yeah, these were they were fighting for a shitty ideology. They did lose the war. They were racist who were fighting for slavery to continue. So who cares if their statues are up? What's the attachment to it?
I don't know. I'm a Jewish gal from New York City, so I've already been told I was going to burn in hell. So
it's not what I meant.
I don't get the whole thing. I honestly don't. I mean, it's like that. All that stuff happened before people.
I think that
arrived.
Thank you very much, Anita. I appreciate it.
I think that the South doesn't necessarily feel represented by some of the mainstream views that come out of the North. They come out of coastal states, not even the North, but the California and New York and states like that. Those viewpoints are what's really reflected in the media and things like that. So I think in the South they just cling on to whatever they have that's different because they don't agree with everything that we say up here.
He looks exactly like you'd expect him to look. He's a white guy with glasses and a trimmed beard. What's the Twitter avatar picture for Yes, You're a Racist?
It's just a little black kid going, "Yes, you're a racist." That's racist. That's a meme, though.
Yeah, yes, you're racist.
That's a famous meme.
Yeah,
and this is an old account too. He started this in like 5 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
I also think that a lot of people, not everybody in the South, but there's a lot of people in the South that think that the South is going to rise again.
I've heard that too.
Probably won't. I don't think. I guess it. Well, I know Pete. It might, but I don't think. I don't think that it probably will. I don't think. I mean, you can't tear down monuments and act like you're better than people who are tearing down the monuments that you don't like.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't... in response to people, like, smashing a... I think that there's far more value in a Holocaust monument than in a stupid Confederacy monument.
Of course.
But if you're mad that a Holocaust monument got smashed, you can't then turn around and smash a Confederacy monument.
Yeah, you can't just tear down a public thing that you don't like.
Intellectually, it doesn't make any sense. If you're pissed... that because the Holocaust monument in Boston got smashed, I guess, yesterday.
Did it really?
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck would smash a Holocaust?
Probably like a neo-Nazi.
Ugh.
Because that's who. Yeah, but
you fucking white supremacists. That's where you lose.
Wasn't it some black dude?
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
You know what? I almost said something about the white supremacists, and I never should have badmouthed them because it wasn't them.
I think it was just some teen who was just. He's an asshole.
It's funny, but it's not all over the news, though. It's funny.
It was yesterday.
Okay, fair enough.
I saw it yesterday.
All right, I'll admit that I didn't know what I was talking about.
Yeah,
rarely.
That's yeah.
Okay, so the guy is out, and he is saying that this is his. Someone's not agreeing with Sam. I don't go for this type of talk. Mark?
About what? I didn't even say anything yet.
Hi, Mark in South Carolina.
Hello, Jimmy. Hello, Sam.
Hi, Mark.
Hi. Sam, you're ignorant. You don't know everything that happened and regarding the Civil War. Don't get me wrong. I know everybody in the South's not racist, even though you say every time you open your mouth, the South, the South, the South.
My family's
we're not all racist.
My family's from the South.
So you think everybody in the South racist?
No, I've never said that.
You speak of the South as a bunch of hillbilly hicks who are
he does. I don't go for it either.
Where's this coming from?
I've listened to you guys since I had to pay for it on XM, and you've spoken this way all along.
Do you think you might have some?
You do realize that black people fought in the Civil War for the South.
You do realize they were probably forced to.
So it wasn't all about slavery.
So they probably were forced to, in fairness. I doubt they wanted to do that.
And the people that weren't forced...
How would you be forced to fight?
There was slavery.
When you could just walk away.
It's easy to say that now, but when you're living in a
How
culture
could there have been slavery?
where it's legal to own your family, it's kind of difficult to tell a guy just walk away now. Come on, man. It's a different mentality back then.
Don't you think that if slavery...
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. So don't you think that if slavery is a thing, like say we're living in a world where slavery is a thing and black people can be slaves, do you think that maybe
it's the first one to be a slave?
I don't know what that means, but do you think that it would also be possible?
You're half black.
You really are a shining example of how people in the South are not racist. But
good one.
But don't you think that maybe some of the black soldiers were fighting against their will?
Yeah, I would think some of them were, but I also think some of them were fighting for their own piece of land. I mean, they were fighting for. They knew they would be free after this, and most of them got land and would have gotten land even if the South would have won.
They were promised land, and then they didn't get it.
That's not true. That's not true. There's plenty of places in South Carolina that it was appropriated to them. I'm actually not from here, but I'm in Beaufort, South Carolina at the moment, and there's acres and acres here that's been split up and given to slaves, and it's passed down from generation to generation to generation.
You're right. They did. You know what?
Fair is fair.
In hindsight, the slaves did get a pretty good deal at the end of the day.
No, they didn't. No, I'm not stupid.
No, you're right. Well, I don't think that the South is racist hillbillies.
Well, we do have some, but there's plenty of northern racist hillbillies too.
No, trust me, I know. I have seen some of the fine people that once you go deep into a lot of the northern states, you go upstate New York, you go deep into Pennsylvania.
You don't have to go deep. You could drive a half hour into New Jersey.
Yeah, you can go into Jersey. There's not a huge difference. That's why I think that some people in the South hold on to icons that we don't necessarily understand here in like the metropolitan areas of New York, because value systems are different. I'm not saying that they're racist. I'm just saying they have a different value system, and that a lot of Southern people, a lot of people in rural areas, even if it's in the North, don't agree with the stuff that goes on in these metropolitan cities.
All right, Mark.
100% agree.
Mark, we got to move along. Thank you, buddy. Hey, Travis, can you look up the guy who did the damage in the Boston?
He's actually 17, so they're withholding his name.
They publish names sometimes when they're teenagers.
Okay, every article I've read so far has said that.
No, I'm saying I know you're right, but I'm saying that they do. I wonder why they're not.
I think only if you try them as an adult, you publish their names. But if you're not trying them as an adult,
okay.
And it might be because he's just been arrested and they haven't formally announced charges.
No, I know. I'm just wondering if the press is handling this one any different.
He's probably just a kid that threw a rock.
Yeah,
like he's probably not this. Like
I threw rocks when I was a kid.
Yes, you should have thrown at fucking taillights as they went away.
We know exactly who you were throwing rocks at. We heard what your dad said on Facebook.
Is this true too, Kevin in Philly?
First off, Travis, my condolences to your brother over in North Dakota.
Thank you.
He's not talking. Travis is not talking to his brother anymore. His dad won't let him.
That makes sense.
Yeah, he's not allowed at family gatherings.
Also, real quick, so the whole flashpoint that happened down in Virginia, they weren't tearing down the statue forever. They were moving it to a fucking museum. So it wasn't like it was going away forever. It was going to a place for people to understand the context behind it. So
why people get so heated?
I don't fucking know. Everyone's dumb, but that's what happened.
So they were moving it. It's more. They were taking it down from a public viewing and putting it in a museum, kind of moving forward, and people just didn't like it because they think that somehow it's a reflection of them and they're not important anymore. It's just crazy.
Bunch of nonsense.
All right, thanks, buddy. It's so fucking nuts the way people get so attached to stuff that they don't. People say, "Well, it's a federal law." No one gives a shit. Who cares?
Yeah,
the statues are fucking. They're a legacy to, or they're kind of a monument to a legacy of a really shitty thing
that ended up not representing America because it lost in a war.
Let it go. I don't mind those soldiers being honored because, again, a lot of them were they went into fight they just went into fight. Soldiers I don't usually hold responsible, so I do think those soldiers should be treated a certain way.
I get you, yeah, because these soldiers are just like, well, this is where I live and this is what the army is doing. I'm defending where I live because it's my duty.
Yeah, and they believe that they were in the right, even if they were in the wrong, just like these generals did. But I have a little less mercy for them. And just like, you don't need to put statues of them up like they're great guys.
Did you see the one, the statue that got torn down? Where'd that statue get torn down?
That reminded me of that scene in Iraq when they tore Saddam's statue down.
That was in North Carolina?
Right, in North Carolina. Yeah, except, first of all, I found it a little bit cowardly that everybody was jumping around like they had done something spectacular when there were no Nazis there. It's tougher to get that done when the Nazis are out. The Nazis are gone.
They just felt like they did something, and it was a little silly. They're kicking the statue. Again, that was just like, watch the video of Saddam's statue being torn down, and this is exactly what it was like. It's the same way. People kicked it and jumped around and screamed like they did something.
Troy, show the video of the statue getting pulled down.
In fairness, I would love to knock
No, the one that I from before the show I told you it was up.
Oh yeah, I have that. There you go.
Okay.
I would love to knock a statue down.
I mean, look, if I'm a young person, I'm knocking down statues because like you could push them over. They're these big. There's got to be something so satisfying about a big metal thing, and you're pushing and you realize that moment where you realize there's more weight on one side than the other, and you're like, oh my god, it's gonna fall down.
When you
now.
know you've succeeded before you have,
right?
You know it's coming,
right? And there's no way anybody can stop it now. It's gonna go smashy. I wouldn't even know what we were protesting. I'd just be like, are we knocking statues down? That sounds great. But I want you to. This is my favorite. Is like they're not the most coordinated bunch of people as they kick the statue. Like they're not, you know. They don't
so
strike
much teen angst.
Yeah, and they probably haven't gotten into a ton of fights in their lives or anything. Like they're not. They have all this anger that has probably been used up on Twitter and in the debate club and in mock model Congress or whatever.
This is the first bit of tangible racism they've been able to address. This is the first physical thing they've been able to do when it comes to racism, is to knock this statue down and kick it.
Yeah. But watch, I mean, especially this one kid in the blue shirt comes and kicks it, and he's just like
spitting on it.
They're spitting on the statue. They're going up to it. Look, this guy kicks it. That guy. Watch this guy in the blue T-shirt. Watch this. He just.
Oh no, he's dumpy.
It's the worst kick I've ever seen. You can see his kind of. It's like. You can see his chubby belly in his T-shirt, and
yeah,
he kicks the statue.
He looks like Mosh Boy.
He does look like, with the way he gets his foot up. But the way he kicks the statue, like there's so much resistance. Like he's got so little muscle in his leg.
Like look at that woman in the black.
She's
killing it.
She's kicking the
Yeah.
She's
well, he kicked his kicks are really lame.
So weak.
You know why? Because he's very conscious of how heavy that statue probably is, and he doesn't want to hurt his foot.
Yeah, you can tell he's like at the last minute. He's like backing off of it. Because if you look at when he first kicks the statue, it looks like the statue kicks him back.
It really does.
Like he goes up, he jumps up, he kicks the statue, and then he like springs backwards. Like he didn't realize that this was a cast iron structure.
Hey.
And there it goes.
Oh, it broke. It bent when it fell.
That'd be so cool to watch it break, though.
Awesome.
And I don't even get. It's not about like, oh, good, racism is dead. It's about like
how crazy is a statue breaking.
Yeah, cool, man. A big thing that grown-ups put up there. We broke it.
I want to see the little fat kid jump in. They're throwing their shoes at. Oh, he's stop.
Just heel kicked it.
Yeah, but I mean, he's busy playing his cool guitar.
Didn't they spray Pam on it first? They showed that they sprayed oil on it. I guess the people who wanted to protect it, I'm thinking so you couldn't get a grip on it.
Oh, so you put cooking spray on it?
I saw some article where they had put cooking spray on it, and I'm guessing that's what it was for.
Just squirting KY jelly all over it so you'd slip and slide?
Would you have laughed if this person pushing the statue didn't realize that the base was attached to it and fell off with it and broke their leg?
How awesome would it be if the statue fell on top of the person? Like if the person and the statue just fell back at the same time. Look at that. There goes the statue. Oh, smashy, smashy.
Oh, his head got smashed in, too.
The head fell off. That'd be fun to see. And then they spit on it like, oh.
Flips off the statue.
Shut up. Flipping off the statue.
Oh,
here comes my guy. Whoa!
Oh, he trips and falls.
It hurt his leg.
And he fixes his hair. The guy's playing a song.
And this kid is out of breath.
What's he playing?
The kid in the blue shirt that tried to kick the statue is out of breath. He's got the weakest
and he went
kick.
to spank it, too. He smacked it. Oh, he hates racism.
Look at, oh, my leg.
I hate racism so much.
Oh, and he fixes his hair like, I'm cool.
All right, watch him again. This is the worst kick. And then he goes to smack it. He fixes his shirt so his fat stomach isn't showing. Here he goes. Oh.
I hate racism.
Racism gets a kick from me.
Yeah. You're not going to be racism on my watch. No racist statues are going to be here.
No racist statues are safe when I'm kicking them. Here goes this is a great kick. Oh, ow. And he trips around it.
He does. The only sound that I can picture, because there's no sound on this video, unfortunately, But when I see him bounce off the statue, all I hear is that woman on the news going, "Oh, ow, ow, oh, ow, ow, oh!"
And he kicks the base so lame.
My favorite part is him just standing there after he kicks.
I'm cool.
Yeah, because you know he's just so uncomfortable in his own skin.
And he has so much anger at racism. He's going to give this statue a second kick that means nothing.
Hates racism. And you got this chick with the pigtails who's just kicking the shit out of it. This kid, ow, ow, ow.
Someone tells me she's kicking somebody from 15 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
fuck you, Dad. Fuck
lick
you.
Lick her breath, lick her breath, lick her breath, lick her breath.
And she's like kicking with her toe. Like
she's not using her bottom of her foot. She's like actually kicking like a ball.
It looks like the kid in the blue shirt in his first kick. It looked like he's wearing like canvas sneakers, and he went to kick it, but he doesn't know how to kick because he's done nothing physical in his life. So he went to kick it, and he kicked with like the top of his foot, and I think it hurt his toes.
Sure, I think so too, because he kind of hop stumbled, and then he kicks with the bottom of his foot. Watch the lame kick on the top, where the bottom of his foot just comes down like he's stepping on it, like he's squat.
He's like, "I'm taking photo, no more photo." Ow, ow, ow.
And he skips away. He did that to take a photo first, didn't he?
He did. Yeah. He took a photo. And then he skipped away, and now he's out of breath. He's totally out of breath.
Really is.
Watch him fixing his shirt, though. You do that thing when your little tummy is showing, and you don't want it to show, where you fluff your shirt.
Ow.
Watch him fluff his shirt. Watch him fluff his shirt. Don't want my tummy to show. Watch.
He fixes his hair. Let's see. Let's see.
Wait.
Let's see.
There
it is. Yep.
A little shirt pull.
Yep. When you're fat.
Here's another kick.
So your shirt clings to your belly and titties.
Do you think that was a good kick? The second one.
It was the worst kick ever. He hates racism, though. Imagine if you hate racism, how lame you feel if a broken racist statue beat you up.
Yeah. I wish we could get this guy on the phone.
I would love to.
I know, if he didn't hurt himself too bad, he might be in the hospital.
He might be. He might be. I would disown him if I were his family. If I were that kid's dad, I'd be on Facebook like that kick. He did not learn that kick.
Putting out a statement, official statement.
Yeah. No. He is not welcome until he learns how to kick like a man.
I think this is an unfair comparison.
I would make that girl who's kicking the shit out of the statue. I'd make her my new son.
She was pretty awesome.
Yeah, she's badass.
She's kicking the shit out of it.
And Sir Joe in Las Vegas, I want to see if we can get more footage from this. I would love to see more of that second kick that this video stops.
Ow!
The second kick. What do you get to your second, Joe?
And look at this guy. Look at this guy. He's with his guitar. He's like, I could take a minute to stop playing guitar to just heel kick this statue.
And that woman put her hands on it. People are spitting on it.
They're spitting on the statue.
Oh, I want to see him
like
spank
he was about
it.
to punch it.
Yeah, spank it with his hand. Boo.
Oh,
I spanked racism.
What a total asshole.
What a dork. Hey, what's up, Joe in Las Vegas?
I'm on the radio. What's up, boys?
Hey,
man.
Jimmy, I hope to see you when you come to Vegas. But look, I think my main point is, so you can go back and look at ISIS destroying ancient monuments, right? And we're all outraged by that because it's old history. But I'm sure those guys did some horrific shit back in the day. But it's history, right? So, I mean, history's history. So I don't really know what my point is.
I know what you're saying, but it's a little different. ISIS, who's beheading people. This is just people think an awful part of a statue shouldn't be a public monument to something. There's a difference.
This is also first world problems, though, right?
Well,
it's fucking
a little bit.
It's kind of addressing. It's a legacy of slavery, which is an embarrassing part of our country. I don't think it's necessarily a first world thing.
There's slavery going on right now in the world.
It's a problem, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I just wish that. But
only outrage.
But
no, I actually believe the outrage on this one.
People are going to be outraged by more about slavery in their country than in another country.
If you live in the South and you see these monuments to these guys, it probably is irritating to see. And I do believe you're disgusted with it. If you think these guys were racist, they were fighting to keep racism, why is there another angle? Sorry, we found a better angle. This is like this Zapruder film.
It really is. He kicked it back and fell to the left.
Here he comes. From this side, watch. Oh, God damn it.
This fucking guy.
All right, thank you, Joe.
It's this asshole.
Thank you, guys.
I want to watch him. He kicks back and to the left.
He punches it, and every video that I've seen cuts it off right before I could see how hard he actually puts his fist to it.
There's no way he punches. If he punches it with even 10% strength, there's going to be some video evidence of him like holding his fingers after or something.
I think he palm hit it. He hit it with his palm. Let's watch more videos of this.
Definitely.
There has to be footage of him.
It's a bunch of it's mainly white kids getting real pissed off and tearing down a statue. In what state was this again, Travis?
North Carolina. It was in Durham.
North Kakalaki. And yeah, I would say get rid of Confederate statues, but I would leave it to the city to get rid of them, I guess. I would encourage the city to get rid of them. I'm
tired of the Dixie flag celebrating that fucking shit point of view that they had back. I'm talking about the slavery point of view.
Yeah, I am too. But I worry because I feel like if the snowflakes and the social justice warriors take it upon themselves to remove these statues, they're going to get hurt. They're not the greatest athletes in the world.
No.
The last thing I want to do is see somebody break a toe because they're trying to kick a Robert E. Lee statue or something.
Yeah, we have to find more footage of this kid.
I know. I wish
Isn't he a gem?
He's phenomenal. He's all.
Wait.
Go back. I saw him again.
I did too. He was really outraged.
Yeah.
He was trying to fight against a crowd. There he is. Fuck you, statue.
But he went to help pull it. It was already being toppled. What? Look at how late to the game he is.
I saw it. I saw exactly.
Wait. Go back. It's the statue. He grabs the rope that everybody's grabbing and pulls the statue.
So they have a yellow rope around the statue, and they're all going to pull it together to knock the statue down. And there's probably 7 or 8 people all together pulling this rope so the statue falls. And just as the statue is already tilting, so it's exactly what we were talking about a minute ago. You see the weight distribution has changed. So the statue is now falling for sure. He jumps on the end.
The statue was already head over heels, and then he jumps over so we could tell when he pulled it down.
Yeah, I pulled the statue down, and then I kicked it. Actually, my toe kind of hurts. He did. Look at him. He runs over. I got it.
Yeah, he wasn't needed.
So but he wants to believe. If he were to look at that footage,
there he is.
He would believe that he was the last piece of the puzzle to end racism.
Here's what he's going to say. We pulled it down. What he should say, they pulled it down.
Right.
He's at every shot.
He believes that he is the power. He is that one remaining piece. They're there's so many of us. Why can't we destroy racism? And he goes, because you haven't found me yet. I'll have you bullet. And it goes down.
He didn't help there.
No, he didn't help at all.
He wasn't. If he literally never showed up, not one thing would have been different.
It would have been exactly the same. The only thing that would have been different is less bruised toes.
Yeah, and less enjoyment of watching this video.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this story would have been about Here's what he did. By being so silly and uncoordinated, he made this symbolic gesture more about what a dope he is.
Yeah, and hilarious.
Yeah.
Because of how bad he was at kicking and beating a statue.
Right. I think racism is still the same.
Wait, hold on. Here's another angle. He stepped on it. Wait, let's see him palm hit it.
Yeah.
Oh, he kicks it again, then he walks away.
He walks away. He's like, okay, I've had enough. I'll let everybody else
Wait, he's still there. Does he come back?
I hope so.
He's yelling.
Oh, I'd love to know what he was yelling.
He fixes his hair, too.
Of course he does. I'm cool, guys. Don't worry about me.
I bet I know what he was yelling. Ow.
Ow! Ow! Racism hurts. He's also if you look at where he's positioned in every shot, everybody has their little cliques within this group of young people that are against racism. Everybody has their little cliques, right? Everybody has their friends and their groups and stuff.
Yeah.
He's by himself.
He's a loner.
He's not hanging out with anybody.
I want to see a better angle of the palm hit that he puts on the statue.
In that blue T-shirt, though, he looks like Violet Beauregard after chewing the gum.
Yeah, he's not a real specimen.
No. Oh, this is what people should be talking about today.
Yeah.
This is what the news should be covering.
This little chubby kid.
Chubby boy can't kick in South Carolina or North Carolina, wherever it was.
Oh, Steve, come on. I understand we're going to make $1 million. Steve in Florida.
Hello.
Hello, Steve.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
All right, you sound like you're annoyed already, but...
No, I'm not annoyed at necessarily your point, but it's more like we take everything and we try to... Why isn't this? Well, how come? And sometimes something is just in itself what you're talking about, but go ahead.
All right. Well, obviously, no one looks at the Nazi flag and says, hey, that's a great thing, except for people who have mental problems. We all know what happened, during World War II, but... you got these Antifa guys carrying Soviet flags, the old hammer and sickle, and there doesn't seem to be any real outrage about that when, all things considered, they were just as bad.
That is true. Why are they carrying the Soviet flag And they actually killed more people than the I guess maybe just because the concentration camps that targeted the Jews. I don't have an answer for that. But why are they carrying Soviet flags when people are mad at the Russians for apparently interfering and getting Trump elected, and yet these people like the Soviets so much? It doesn't make sense.
They don't like the Soviets. I think that the flag is a symbol of like communism and socialism.
Yeah, it's a symbol of communism and socialism, which, after the Bolsheviks took over, they killed tens of millions of people in their own country during the purges. They also went after Jews in pogroms. I mean, the Chechens, they tried to exterminate them.
I'm with you. I think Antifa or whatever they're called is scumbags too.
They're absolutely, and they're, what it is? They're children with no real understanding of how awful communism is,
right? Exactly.
And how awful it is to live under that system, because a lot of them have gotten most of what they've wanted in their lives.
Yes,
they have no idea how awful it is to be told by the government what to think and what to feel, and exactly how much you can have and how much you can't have. Thank you for the call. It's actually, you made some points there, Steve. Sorry.
They're like when you're
thank you.
When you're in 5th grade. And you first get explained what communism is in like a social studies class. And when it first gets explained to you in principle, you're like, oh yeah, if everybody wins, why don't we do that?
Sure.
And then it takes, 2 lessons to figure out why it never works. And it's always corrupted and bastardized. And you're right. I mean, Antifa doesn't, or what I don't... Am I saying the name right? Antifa?
Yeah, he's laughing because there's more footage of Fatty dropping a sign.
We have a new angle.
Oh, okay, never mind. So yes, the Antifa is a bunch of idiots.
They're douchebags.
Yeah, they're a bunch of douchebags.
This is great because
I would like to know what happened to this statue, though. Let me see, Troy.
Here you go.
No, tell me.
He holds up the sign. And he has the sign going, and he sees the statue already coming down, and he throws the sign down and runs over to the...
And this is where the action is. So not only does he not help, he litters. Watch little fat litter bug. Watch chubby litter bug.
Where is he?
See, here come, watch. Watch the chubby litter bug.
So he's got... First of all, he's the dork that made the sign the night before. Like, he didn't make it there because he's the only guy that's got one of those wooden planks on the back of his sign so you could hold it up with, like, a handle, like the way you would watch on, like, a television show protesters do.
Or something.
Yeah, like he's picketing. And then he does. The minute he sees the statue is about to fall, he runs over. Well, he waddles over because he's not in the greatest shape. And he just throws his sign down face first on the floor and just pretends like he's the last little bit of pole that's going to get rid of this racist statue. Oh, it's great.
Little chubby guy.
It's great.
Hey.
Wish we could find out who he is.
I can't come in today.
I'm protesting.
I'm ending racism.
There should be a Twitter account called Yes, You're Unhealthy.
I stopped racism at Comic-Con.
Yeah. What's that one saying? Remember the Klan holds a Confederate... Oh, God, the Confederate flag.
The Confederate flag is so stupid because I just don't understand how it's like they were against... America now is the America that won the Civil War, right? That's why we became America. So the Confederacy is against the ideals of America. They wanted to not be a part of America, right?
But they did like, some of our ideals.
Right. So... we went to war with them, and then they lost, and we won. Even in the South, now you're not in the Confederacy anymore. You won. Congratulations. You're all part of America now.
And also, the Klan embraces that flag. The Klan embraces that flag. So if you're into the Dixie flag, it's like, that's the flag that the Klan wave. Like, come on, man. Just let it go.
Right.
It's a shitty symbol.
And it's not like...
It symbolizes shitty stuff. Just let it go.
It's not like erase it from history and take it off the fucking... Dukes of Hazzard car. That's all stupid stuff. It's just right now. Stop waving it around as if it's your flag.
They could try to take it out of history eventually.
No, but I mean, it did exist, and you shouldn't any more than you should remove the Nazis from history. You have to teach what happened and be accurate about it. And I don't like revisionist history either.
What about those books that came out that they take out the N-word that was in there?
That's stupid.
That's stupid.
It's stupid, but they do it.
Yeah,
I know,
but they do a lot of things that are stupid.
Right. It shouldn't be done.
It shouldn't be done.
That's what we're not advocating for. I think Jim and I are both of the opinion that the Confederate flag is just dumb at this point.
Not honoring something and not waving it as if it still has relevance is different than erasing it from history. I don't think the Confederacy should be erased from history.
No.
I don't think those soldiers their memory should be disgraced at all. They were fighting for what they believe in. I do think that they should not be necessarily honored for that point of view, but I don't think that they should be disgraced or wiped from history.
Right. Like, what if you just stop acting like it's an ongoing thing?
You stop acting like it's a big part of your culture today. It's not.
Yeah, and then let it be in history. I'll bet people would leave it alone in history if people weren't, like, waving it around today.
Have you ever seen somebody
Look at
get
that
their
guy
ass
kick that statue?
Have you ever seen somebody get their asses kicked and hold on to the flag so much? Like it's like you get beat up by it. It's embarrassing. Let it go.
Yeah, but to be fair, I've seen the opposition get beat up by a statue. So I don't know which side I land on at this point.
I found it.
You found what?
I found him punching the thing.
No, you didn't. You couldn't have.
It's even better than I had hoped.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna email it to Troy.
Oh, please do. Are you
Fucking
excited?
Teft come, dude. It's all I want to see.
I must have watched 100 of these videos.
This is the reason why you didn't take a sick day today, Norton.
Yep.
Hang on, I'm sending it to
Troy has his email open right now, just waiting,
That's right.
just like rubbing his hands together, like he's in a fucking NASCAR pit crew, just ready to move.
Teftification.
This is so bad.
This is.
Did he hit it the way I thought he did with his palm?
Just watch. You could skip a little. You know where it.
Oh. There he is. Okay.
Oh boy, this angle.
Yeah, let's watch from here. Okay, there he goes. He stumbles across the statue after he kicks it because he hurt himself. There's that chick kicking the shit out of the statue. I like her. Okay, and then here's the. Oh, there he goes. He gets the t-shirt cling off of his fat belly.
He didn't punch it.
Here's what he did. We should tweet that video out.
He thought better of it.
He goes down, he bends down to punch the statue, and then right before he hits the statue, he stops. And then he backs away. He lets some other tough guy hit the statue, and then he kicks it. He kicks it again.
Oh my God, this is wonderful.
I want to watch. Oh my God. He's so uncoordinated.
He's winded.
Oh, he is. He is exhausted.
Oh, those little soft kicks.
Kick. Putt, no. Kick. Oh, that's great. That's great. Oh, I love it. They're all chanting. They're all, fuck you.
What's he doing now? Is there more of it? Oh, play a little more. I want to see what else he does. He's got the arm up.
He's got his arm up, but he's winded, man. He is exhausted.
That was good find, Travis.
I'm so happy I found it.
He's exhausted.
Was that better than you thought?
Yep.
Well, think about it. Think about how tired he is. Within the frame of about 75 seconds, he was holding a sign up in the air, right? Then he had to throw the sign down, run over, pretend to pull a statue down, then run over to the statue, kick it, hurt his foot, then run away from the statue, then run back to the statue, pretend like you're going to punch it, and then kick it again. I mean, that's going to exhaust anybody.
God, I love that he didn't punch it. His little chubby hand just stopped.
It is chubby, right? Oh, he's just so...
And I love that angle of his back turn.
It's literally Mosh Girl.
It really is.
He almost fell into the person who's holding the camera at this angle.
I still can't get over this woman.
Kicking the shit out of it.
Oh, she's got so much anger.
She's not happy about that today, I guarantee it.
Yeah, that foot hurts.
Look, he just...
Fixes his hair again. Damn, I'm angry. I hate racism. Woo, I'm out of shape.
And then this chick goes back over. Fuck that statue. Then the guy in the blue shirt's like, yeah, what are you doing later? You hanging out later?
You think he tried to talk to her?
He definitely tried to talk to her. Because he wants her to believe that that they're of the same mindset, you know? That they have the same sort of viewpoints on things.
Yeah, so you punched it. I was going to punch it too, but it's like so many people.
Yeah. You know what? I was going to punch it, but I didn't want to break it before everybody else got their shots in because I punched so fucking hard.
And this is what's wrong with people on Twitter who all think they're making a point. To John Alonzo. So you're okay with making fun of some fat guy, but not outing racists who would kill you, both of you, if they could? Here's the thing, John. That's all we're doing is goofing on the guy. We're not trying to ruin his life.
Right.
It's not that I'm against outing racists. I personally do think that if you're a racist, I'm fine with people knowing who you are. I think you should be a man and state your public opinion as yourself. What I'm saying is that they start targeting the jobs like you should be fired for that shitty opinion. So yeah, I'm making fun of a fat guy who did a lame kick in a public place, but we're not taking it any further. We're not trying to to hurt his life.
Right.
We're just laughing at how he looked publicly. There's a big difference.
Or saying, hey guys, we're making fun of this fat guy who can't kick statues good. Here's his phone number and his name and his family. You guys go do it too.
And let's get him fired.
Yeah,
let's humiliate him as far as the people in his life are getting. Like, the racists, it's hard to feel bad for racists, like, who are actively protest, because, like, I don't like what they stand for. I'm just saying, as a public principle, I don't like anybody, even if their principles are shitty. I don't like necessarily going, let's get them fired for having shitty opinions.
Although I will say, if this guy does get fired for kicking that statue, I will hire him as a professional statue remover.
I will too.
I think he's great. I think he's a terrific statue remover.
Yeah, we actually like this guy.
He's terrific.
Yeah, I hope his personal information gets out there because someone can talk to him.
Exactly. I asked him to come over to my house, hang out.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, what do you think of this? Just get us. I want to just get this guy.
I put things in my house that needed knocking over. Could you kick that over there? And it's like a lead balloon. Brace his little fat foot.
I want to get this guy's take on things. You know, I just want. I want to find out what his point of view on all kinds of different world views are, because he's definitely got points of view on things. He wants to be very special. You know?
Yeah, he does. He wants to just be a part of it.
He does want to be a part of it. This is if young Jim Norton, when he was drinking, was a little bit a lot of bit fatter. You might have been a little more like this kid.
Yeah, I think this guy captures who I was internally.
Right.
I was a dweeb who was always a day late and a dollar short and didn't want to hurt his hand.
But it still wouldn't talk to you. So he's going to find out where that chick who was kicking the shit out of the statue, he's going to find out where she lives. And later on tonight, he's just going to walk by her house playing Iron Man in a boombox.
He really is. I am no better than him. I am him.
Yeah.
But you know, the South, it's funny.
He is us.
People think we're knocking the South. During this interview yesterday for the history of comedy, they asked me about when you do the South. Or they said to me, when you do we talk about material? And I raised the point that people think you change material when you go to different places. And I did North Carolina and all this stuff. And, like, I didn't change my material for the South. Like, people think that, like, the South is not some hayseeds who you have to change everything for and dumb it down. So our opinion of the South is not bad. That's the kind of point I'm making, is that as a performer, I don't have any different opinion of Southern audiences as I do Northern audiences. The Northern audiences are no smarter than the Southern audiences. They're no fucking hipper.
No.
You know, maybe a little more religion in the South, and that's it.
But in the North, there's a little more of that sort of like, yeah, damn the man. Yeah, man.
So our impression of the South is not bad at all. To me, this is just a part of it that you should fix. Do you know that makes sense? I kind of 100%. I babbled about that.
No, I agree. I agree with you. I think you're speaking for both of us.
I don't have some shitty outlook on you people in the South. I've performed down there a lot.
What you mean, you people?
You've been great crowds. I love doing Dallas. I love doing Houston, fucking Austin, North Carolina. You're great.
I spent the first 16 Julys of my life in Paducah, Kentucky. I love it there. I like dicks.
It was just.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, we criticize this element of it, but this element is still being hijacked, or not hijacked, it's actually being pushed forward by people who have those shitty beliefs. If the Klan is embracing that flag, even if you're in the South and you have Southern pride, you should want to distance yourself from that. Because if that's what they think represents their South, then just let it go. Let them have it. It's a shitty symbol.
And you can have pride in the South. You should have pride in the South.
You guys are better than that.
Yeah.
You're better than that.
You can have pride in the South without, like, being prideful of the South from the Civil War era. Like, the Civil War era South is maybe not the best South to be proud of.
Yeah. In
my humblest of opinions.
And before we break, by the way, my throat is killing. I have to eat some food and take these I almost said these medicines because I can't swallow. A couple of bit of things just to cover. My tour is on sale this week, so if you want to check me out, I'm in a bunch of cities. Go to jimnorton.com. Too many cities to name. Actually, not. I'll do it when I come back. I don't feel like naming them right now.
You're a braggart.
Yeah, but go to jimnorton.com if you want to see me. I'm in, Indianapolis, Seattle, Portland, New York, LA, a whole bunch of places that you can check out where I'm going to be. And tickets are going on sale. Scottsdale, Tucson, Vegas, Minneapolis, Madison, Austin, Dallas, San Francisco, whatever, Sacramento. Please go check them out. And there was something else I wanted to say, and I forgot.
If you play North Carolina, will you get this guy in?
I would, dude. I would love to have this guy in.
How great would it be if you were standing on stage in North Carolina and you just see curly hair and a blue T-shirt that fits a little too tight on a belly, and just a guy who obviously can't use his legs entirely well?
I'd be so. What are these people squashing and breaking now?
That's a scene from Office Space.
Oh, it's funny
when they kick the shit out of the
exactly
printer.
how they were kicking.
It really is just the up too high heel kicks. Did you see Trump's speech yesterday?
Yeah, I did. I thought it was good.
Yeah,
I didn't think he needed to praise himself.
No.
but he's just not good at this. But the part about what he said about the Klan and that ideology being evil and repulsive, he just handles things wrong initially at times.
Right.
But this is harsh language. And let me tell you, for all the people who compared him to Obama, saying, hey, Obama would... This is harsher than Obama ever addressed Islamic terrorism. I mean, he did come out the next day, and he wasn't soft about it.
And also
2 days.
Oh, sorry, 2 days later. Okay.
It was 2 days, but still, like he has gotten to the point now where he said everything that he should have said, and I was like, this is when you start to. I don't like it when people can't admit their biases on either side of things. Like people were criticizing him for using a teleprompter, or at least qualifying it, being like, yeah, that was a good teleprompter speech, as if every word... Obama's a great speaker. Every word that came out of his mouth was on one of those clear teleprompters.
Because they just can't admit, because we're so biased and so fucking obsessed with winning the argument.
Yeah.
They can't just admit, like, okay, this one Trump got right. The way he phrased it, even if it was 2 days after, this phrasing,
yes,
what he said here was correct, and it was good, and what was needed to be said.
That's the speech I was looking for.
Can't even give him fucking credit for that. So hate him all you want, but fuck you too if you're going to snivel and bellyache because you used a teleprompter.
Because now you're doing the same thing.
You're being bitches. Just admit that the guy got this one right as far as this particular speech is concerned. Just admit this part of the speech was good. Hate him.
Right.
Never vote for his reelection. Think he stinks. But be a big boy and a big girl and just admit that he got this part of it right.
Yesterday's speech was what it was supposed to be.
Yes.
I would have appreciated that speech on Saturday.
Better timing, yeah, definitely.
But regardless, like, if we're talking about yesterday's speech, that's the speech it should have been. You want to hear a minute?
Sure.
I do too.
We must rediscover the bonds of love and loyalty that bring us together as Americans. Racism is evil. And those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups that are repugnant to everything we hold dear as Americans.
He could not have been more decisive in that. Yeah. And so what, again, so what if he read it off a prompter? He didn't have to say those words, and we've all seen Trump go off the teleprompter.
Yeah, and every president ever, since they've invented teleprompters, have used teleprompters. It's what people do when they're giving speeches. Although there still is, like, when there's still something a little bit creepy. Every time Donald Trump says love, like when he says love, you're always like, what is he? Is he flirting? What's he doing here?
Joe in Oklahoma. Before we go to break, yes, Joe in Oklahoma.
Yes, I mean, I'm just being argumentative, but you know how you were saying you need to take down statues of the Southern leaders or General Lee and stuff. Should we take down like statues of Quanah Parker and other Indians because they lost the war too?
No, I think it's a different situation with the American Indians. I think we know that too. We know that they were kind of slaughtered and their land was taken. I think we know that it's a different set of circumstances.
Yeah, we snatched that shit from them.
Yeah. It's different, dude. And it's different. American Indians have been fucked harder than any group in this country. And they still continue to get fucked because they don't get... And I know the team names a lot of them don't care about, but we're such cowards with every other group, but for some reason those people are still cartooned, and we don't have the fucking balls to do it to other people.
Because they got casinos, man.
Maybe. All right, thanks, Joe. All right.
We gave them casinos. What else do you want?
I want to break and take my medicine. We'll come back with.
Okay, I have to take a break every hour to make sure I get my medicine.
Dan Soder is coming in, and we also have Chad Kalick.
Dan actually wants to be known He wants to be known as Danny Fizz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Danny Fizz, Danny Fizzlesticks,
Danny Soda Muffins,
Danny Soda Muffins. Yeah, Soda Pop Muffin Burger.
And Chad Kalick, who has he's promoting Sir No Face Lives tour, sirnoface.com. He's a paranormal investigator, I guess.
Yeah, he's like Haley Joel Osment. He sees dead people.
I'm not a big fan of the paranormal, so it'll be interesting to hear. I want one guy to show me real evidence. That's all I want, because I want to believe.
Well, he's headed in he headed in the movie.
These are pills. Be right back. Pete Townsend in the hallway. I guess he did Howard this morning. Any Howard fans on Twitter? I'm sure. I think that was him. Ronnie was walking him. He's a big dude.
I don't know, but I'll tell you who we got in studio. Dan Soder, you are locked in the asylum.
I hate all of that.
Why? You are locked in.
You're locked in the asylum now.
I watch me walk out of this room with no problem, no locks on the door.
It's we do crazy stuff. It's the asylum. Jim and Sam show. It's the
Can I throw my shit on the wall?
No.
Can I do real asylum stuff?
No,
try to bite your nose if you get too close?
No, that's disgusting. No,
okay.
We don't do that. That's
can I multiple MIGs you and just throw my cum at you?
Of course you can.
Sure.
Yes, of
I've
course
had that done before.
Yeah? How much did it cost?
200. and she didn't know who Miggs was.
Yeah, she goes, I'll call you whatever you want.
Yeah,
sweetheart.
sure. Here, eat this.
Yeah, you want to lap it out of my hand like a puppy dog?
So we got a ton of news stories and stuff that I want to talk about, but during the break, Jim said that he actually wanted to. There's some video that you wanted to get to.
Yeah, I want to bring Anthony in. Young Anthony, who sends us the
video email.
Email every day.
Because that's how, we got a nice staff here. Everybody does a very, very good job here at Jim Norton and Sam Roberts here in the asylum. They can't let the inmates run the asylum, Dan.
You just have young doctors?
Well, yeah, we have Travis Taft when his family's not disowning him for being a Nazi.
Your new staff looks like a high school TV crew.
Yeah,
that's why we like him.
We actually brought in the people who did not get cast for Degrassi: The Next Generation.
Yeah.
But we have like a young Robert over there, the handsome one.
Yeah.
He does our video now.
I was looking through him at the window. All your new employees are like 21 years old.
That's what we like.
Right.
Yeah.
Sam is the one who makes like a lot of the decisions. I think Sam is trying to let me know something.
Yeah, Sam's letting you know he gets a little bit of power, and this is where the weirdness comes out.
Yeah.
He starts hiring young men.
Exactly, who like their heinies nuzzled.
Yeah, he goes
young boys around.
Yeah, Emperor Sam wants nice hairless men.
Boys, we need material.
Yeah. Boys, I want to talk about something.
That's how I refer to the staff too. Where are the boys?
Oh,
boys,
my young men. Oh, hello,
hello, boys. Well, Anthony is one of my boys.
And one of Anthony's jobs, like Travis sends out the news story. We get an email with these great news stories, and Anthony sends out these video links for a video that we can use on the radio show. So I wanted to discuss a couple of the ones you send out. We can just go back to last night. You did send out the Trump calling hate groups repugnant, which is great. We should have that one. Let's go to the first one without telling anybody what it is. Don't look. Let's just see. I'm sure you know what it is.
Right. I watched this one last night.
Dan, can Dan see what this is or no?
we can watch it on that monitor.
I can watch it.
Right down here.
I want you to just hear it though and see if you can tell what this is.
Oh,
okay.
Do you want to?
Yeah, great audio. Let's hear what this is.
Yeah.
This is the audio we get.
Come on, Sam, baby. You focusing. Sam, focus. Right here. See this? Right here. Let's go, Chapman. Yo. Right here. That's what I'm talking about. Right here. Come on. Let's go. Right here. Let's go.
It sounds like a guy. Sounds like a guy hyping himself up to jump over something. You know that same feeling? Like, here we go. Okay, we're gonna make this. Get over this, and then it sounds.
Does he jump?
Yeah, you know, like when they do like an Evil Knievel jump. That's what it sounds like. Like if you pretended he was jumping a canyon on a motorcycle, that's the same kind of pump up.
Yeah. To me, it's like I heard the pump up, but then there was just kind of a like
maybe he fell.
But it wasn't like that. Like there wasn't a strong reaction one way or the other.
Yeah. It sounded just like crowd noise, like something you would put just in the back.
Yeah.
It was almost like some guy was hyping himself to jump off something, but nobody was looking at him.
Yeah, and then he just didn't do it. He walked away.
Or he did or he didn't. Nobody.
I'm just gonna take off.
And then the crowd just stayed because nobody was watching him to begin with.
It's not great audio.
No.
Let's go back to the main email if we could. And let's go to the let's go to that one.
Oh, you want to get
1, 2, 3. Let's go to the fourth one down.
This one.
Yep. No, fourth one down above it. There you go.
That one's good.
Let's go to that audio for the radio show.
I watched that one. Yeah. This was good.
Yeah, here's some more audio for the video for the radio show.
This is
All
good.
right, let's go.
This is good.
Here's some more audio.
Yeah.
We can get it to play.
It's loading.
Anthony, are you learning your... Oh, here it is.
There
This
it
is
is.
good.
This is going to be good. This is better than the guy who jumped and nobody looked at him.
Yeah.
And I'm just listening to audio at this point, right?
Right.
Okay.
Do you know what it is, Dan, or no?
No. It sounds like when you walk into a place on Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
And they're just doing stuff.
The strip club?
Yeah.
I'm going to guess poor recording of a dope song at an all-male orgy.
It just sounds...
Because I heard "Pick It Up, Fellas," and I just assumed orgy.
It did sound like an exercise class.
Maybe exercise class. Maybe not an orgy. Maybe an exercise class.
Yeah.
Maybe I was going outside the box a little bit.
Are you just pulling crowd sound noises from like heavy crowds, or
I just, it was the first. Can I say what the first one was, or
no? Yeah, let's do one more.
Let's do one more.
It's top crowd noises.
It's like you went through an ambiance CD and you were like, what's a big crowd?
Yeah, that one, Troy. Yeah, you got that one. Yep, this will be good.
I'm not going to look.
Don't look. No,
it kind of ruins it.
Because he goes to 2 places only for videos.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
Yeah, it is
how you learn.
It's true.
It is.
It's
odd
how we learn.
that he only has 2 websites on his computer.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Well,
Oh
it's
my
just
god!
funny.
Yeah, that one's not as bad because it is kind of funny.
It's funny.
Oh my god! But almost all of the videos Anthony pulls. That was the he goes to Barstool Sports or World Star Hip Hop, and that's it.
He only goes to 2 websites. He goes, yeah, it's either the videos posted on Barstool Sports' Instagram account.
Yeah.
Or it's not even their website; it's just their Instagram. Or
do you do that? Do
WorldStar.
you do all your research like laying on the couch, just looking at your phone, and you're like, I got some videos, Jim and Sam.
Yeah, it's like you're just putting them in the some of these. I understand that all video is not going to have great audio because it does spark discussion, and sometimes we have to have a video that's good. But I've noticed this. That couple fucking on the train is good.
But that was also that one was everywhere.
Yeah,
yeah.
But I've also noticed a pattern.
What do you mean? Well, it was on Barstool. It was also on the New York Post. It was literally everywhere.
It's more Barstool.
That was
you
is
only
the
go
dude
to these 2
passed
places.
out? Is the guy laying on the subway bench jerking off to it?
No, he's no, he's
his hands on his dick, so it does look like he's like, well, all right, might as well.
I guess I would jerk off.
Because it is an express train.
Yeah. So, Anthony, is there a specific? How long does a video email take for you on a daily?
Believe it or not, it takes like a little, like 25, 35 minutes.
But none of these are really good. None of these
doesn't
are good.
doesn't sound long.
None of these are good audio.
It's tough to get good audio. The only
It's tough to get good audio on
I
these
thought you
2
guys
websites.
wanted like videos so that we can tweet them. I didn't know you wanted very good audio.
I was
very good audio.
super specific when I said what I wanted you to do.
Why?
Am I wrong to say this?
No,
that
you're
most
absolutely
of
not
his videos are not good for the radio show.
You would be correct in saying that.
Oh yeah, this is a great one. I love this one. I saw this one.
This one.
Okay, go back to the beginning. Okay, Dan, don't look at it.
But I know what it is already.
That's the whole thing.
That's a horrible DJ.
He is a bad DJ.
He's just. I don't even. It doesn't even.
Where do we go with that?
Why? What are you basing him being a bad DJ on?
He's playing YMCA.
The only reason you think he's a bad DJ is because Barstool said he was a bad DJ.
No, he's playing YMCA at a party.
Yeah, Barstool Sports is where you're going. You're only going to 2 places. Why?
That's the 2 places that I know are that are going to be videos that are I thought were good.
Think about it this way: does Barstool Sports have a radio show on Sirius XM? Yes or no?
Yeah, I learned that recently.
So, Do you think?
Believe it or not.
Do you think it might be not as helpful to just go to another place that has a radio show's
Dude, you're
website?
just old. You don't get it.
Yeah,
you're not at the cutting edge. Barstool Sports has got all the new radio videos.
You know what you should do from now on? You should listen to the bonfire every night.
Yeah, because that's how he found out how to get his videos.
Yeah, listen to Dan and Big J and just their take on things, and then write down their takes on things, and then come in the morning and say, "I thought you guys might want to have these takes on the stories."
I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, you got to find audio or videos that some of it will just be like this, sure. But there's not enough variety that it's like, oh, this is just interesting, really good audio, which will sound good on the air. Most of these are not good to play.
Or even trigger a good discussion.
Yeah.
Like, I know that Barstool doesn't think that LeBron James is a good DJ, but all DJs play YMCA, and there's nothing.
It's a hit, dude.
And the crowd was singing.
80 years ago.
The crowd was singing along with him. So there is nothing in that video.
Can you go to yesterday's, Troy? Let's go to yesterday's email. Maybe I'm being too harsh.
These bottom ones were all yesterday's.
You know you're not being.
Oh, that was two.
There's nothing in that video.
Like the McGregor sparring video, I get just because that's being talked about everywhere. You got to, of course, that makes sense.
But it'd be nice if it didn't come from Barstool or World Star.
Well,
yeah, it's like the same two. I've even asked you. You only go to World Star Hip Hop
or Barstool.
I mean, I said that to him when it was all World Star in one email,
and then he was like, "No, I got Instagram too. I follow Barstool."
All right. Well, then what about hood clips?
Yeah, I literally don't know where to go besides Barstool or World Star.
Have you ever gone to YouTube?
Yeah. YouTube's good. AP News.
Have you tried YouTube?
Yahoo News.
Just news.
News. We can just throw that word out there a lot. News.
You can see what's trending on Twitter. Like it's a position. Being the producer of a show, the position would be to see like what's on the pulse of what people are talking about, and here's a video that's gone viral. It would be like if I told you, Travis just sent me 12 articles from the New York Post, and he has done that every day for the last 6 weeks.
That's just a post, dude.
Wouldn't you say, like, that doesn't sound like he's doing a lot of good work, or would you say, well, he doesn't know where else to get the news?
It sounds a bit lazy.
Are there other
no,
websites?
I don't want it to be. I'm not trying to be lazy. I swear to God.
I'm just saying it sounds a bit lazy.
Well, can
Like
I ask?
if I was doing a video email last night, I would have put that Alex Jones video in there.
Yeah, why isn't that video in there?
It wasn't on Instagram.
Yeah, it's not on World Star.
It's too long. Barstool didn't pick it up. Let me ask you this.
I love the screen grabs of all Alex Jones videos are just him half losing his shit.
It's never calm.
It's never like, and this guy's probably got something interesting to say. It's like, this guy's just a full-blown lunatic.
Let me go to the Tef box. Why were there outward guffaws when Anthony said, believe it or not, it could take 25 to 30 minutes?
There's no possible way that's how long it could take.
So, okay, see, I was confused as to if the laugh was because, number one, it should
Unless
take...
he's doing other stuff.
It should take longer than that. Number two, why would it take that long if it's only coming from one source?
Yeah, both.
You guys are being a little harsh with his process. He finds a video. He looks at it. He puts it on the page. He absorbs it. He thinks about all the angles you guys are going to get. Then he answers emails. Then he comes back, another video. This could be a 3-hour process.
Okay.
So you're saying he actually does it pretty quickly, considering it's only 25 to 35 minutes?
Yeah, I think he's actually being quite efficient.
So where did you see? Because I used to have to get videos for the Opie and Anthony show way back in the day. And what I would do, my process, and everybody has a different process.
This is pre-internet, right?
They had the internet. Yeah. Although, I mean, the way Anthony does his research, we might as well be pre-internet.
Yeah.
I was there. But if I would think to myself, Anthony just finished my sentence like that kid pulling down the statue, like he ran to the end. We're all in here together. I would think to myself, if I were doing a radio show, what would a couple of my takes be on this video? How would this video become radio? Meaning, sometimes the audio is not spectacular, but there's a visual component, like the statue being pulled down. I saw that video, and I thought to myself, this is going to spark incredible conversation.
Yeah. Like, a lot of these stink. And we kind of hinted at it before.
I like sick Jim's honesty, where you're just like, it stinks.
Yeah, because but they're not all going to be audio gems. We get that. Some of them will just spark a good talk, but a lot of them, it just seems like only going to Barstool and grabbing 3, and then going to World Star and grabbing 2 is lazy.
I really got to find more websites.
You're not a lazy guy, but I'm saying maybe mentally it's lazy. I know you're a hard worker. I think maybe it's just a little bit mentally lazy here.
All right.
And I know because I've been mentally lazy many times.
What's your process? I explain my process. I look all over the internet and go like, okay, oh, this is a funny video. It's making me laugh. Now, how would I translate that? Like, because it can't just be like, YMCA, it's an old song. So, moving on.
You go, hey, that's an old song. That's perfect.
Right.
Yeah, this one has a million hits. This will be a hot topic.
Right. Right.
I'll bring back a hit.
Our next guest is here, too, so we're going to bring him in just a moment.
Oh, I thought I was getting a chill in here. He's a ghost hunter.
I love that shit.
Yeah?
I fucking love Ghost Hunter.
All right, should we just bring the ghost hunter?
Yeah, how about this, Anthony? Go out. Let's see what tomorrow's email looks like, and we'll get with that's our request.
Good hunting, Anthony.
I'm not going to give him any direction.
No, you can't.
Don't. But I guarantee you.
Man, I hope he really comes in with some thick Wall Street Journal articles for you guys to break down, where he's like, oh, wow, I never looked at it like this. I guess the working class is evaporating.
I'll bet after this conversation, it's going to take a lot more than 25 to 30 minutes. He's going to overthink. He's going to it's going to be great.
Good.
It's going to be great.
Let's bring in, how do you say his last name? Chad Kalick?
Chad Kalick, yeah.
No, that's good. You're good.
Yeah, Chad Kalick.
He's a ghost hunter or a paranormal investigator, I guess they say.
He's a paranormal investigator. Well, I think he's technically... Oh, he's disappeared.
Where is he?
Oh, my God. I fucking saw him.
What if I told you he died in a fire 27 years ago?
I think I just saw a full-bodied apparition.
Oh.
No. And tell him, Chad Kalick sent ya.
My EKG reading is off the charts. Is that a real thing? EKG?
I think so.
That's for like heart attacks, right?
Why do you like paranormal?
I don't know. It's kind of fun.
Do you believe it?
I don't know. Kind of, but not completely, if that makes sense.
I like that movie.
I'm kind of on board. I know it's like a half-stepping thing to say, but yeah, I think there are ghosts, but I don't really think I don't know.
You haven't seen any evidence. Like, you think that there are, but you haven't seen any evidence.
No, man, I've seen some evidence. I've had the old Laugh Factory in Times Square, which it was like a show world. Yeah. It was a strip club.
Sure.
Like a guy that worked there, that worked security, used to work there, and it was a strip club. He's like, yeah, a couple strippers got murdered here because it used to be a mafia strip joint.
Titty ghosts?
Titty ghosts. And let me just tell you, they stay perky in the afterlife. But I had my backpack in a green room that used to be one of those dressing rooms, and I went to go get it, and the door slammed on me.
Ah!
And it was, that's fucking terrifying.
That's ghost shit.
And then I opened the door, grabbed my backpack, and was fucking gone.
Yep.
And there was no one in the room. There was no way for that.
I understand.
I watched that movie Annabelle over the weekend, so I get it.
Yeah, well,
I
that's
get it.
Similar thing. But I think there is, I don't know, an energy thing.
Yeah.
I just don't know. Hi, Chad.
There he is, Chad Kalick.
Hey, Chad, what's up?
Big fan, fellow metalhead.
Thanks, buddy. How are you?
It's Patrick from the stand.
Welcome to the show, man.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
We're just talking. I'm a bit skeptical when it comes to the paranormal. Dan kind of says that he's
understandable.
Yeah, it's hard to find. It's hard to find evidence that I find credible. It's difficult. So
that's what the movie's about, though.
Yeah, and I just told him I was in a place that they said there was a couple strippers got murdered. It was a comedy club, and I had my backpack in a green room. It was
my house.
Yeah, and a door slammed on me. That when I was going to get my backpack, and then I opened the door, grabbed my backpack, and was gone.
And it was only sort of a windy day, so it probably wouldn't have slammed that hard.
It's in the middle of Hurricane Sandy. It was not, but it definitely creeped me the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I was gone.
Do you think if a bunch of Dan thinks that because he heard that a bunch of strippers had died at this club or been murdered at this club, it was a mafia club or whatever, and it became a comedy club, and that's where the door got slammed. Do you think stripper ghosts would slam a door like that?
Here's the thing, out of all the years that I've done this, and I've been doing this for 25 now, typically, if I could guess, and this is all theories, remember, because this is a field of questions, not answers,
Right.
Unatoned tragedies I would say would be the number one reason that things happen. Meaning, if something really negative happened and it's been completely brushed aside, and no one's acknowledged what it is. We've seen that be a case, or be the case at most hauntings where things happen. So if something horrible happened to this stripper,
like
and
murder,
and no one is acknowledging it, then there's a good possibility that something like that could happen.
So are you saying that the TV show The Ghost Whisperer with Jennifer Love Hewitt was close to being the truth?
I've only watched that show a few times, to be honest.
Nothing like some big titties titties to get a ghost. Fucking all riled up,
I keep forgetting we're on serious right now. We can talk like this.
Yeah, we can talk about those big old titties bringing people back from the dead.
Yeah,
big fat tits. You go to grab them, and your hands just meet because there's no.
This is hell.
The big titties are definitely the reason to watch the show.
Have you ever heard of them talk? Have you ever heard an apparition or anything talk?
Yeah, well, we catch EVPs all the time.
What's that?
And disembodiment. An EVP is when, like, you're asking questions and there's nothing in the room, nobody but you, and you'll get a response on recording, but you won't hear it yourself. And there's also what they call disembodied voices, which is when a voice will just come ringing out of nowhere. And I've certainly experienced this over the years.
What do they say?
Certainly. Well, it depends. A lot of times it depends on the questions you're asking. You know what I mean? It's sometimes you get really intelligent responses that are dead on, and sometimes they don't make sense.
Do you believe in like the communicators, like the little blonde kid on E that talks to celebrities?
He's my favorite.
You like him?
Oh, dude, that guy.
He's like,
celebrity medium.
Yeah, I've been scribbling on this notepad, and what I see is that your sister died of cancer. Is that right?
Yeah. See, you know, in the field of the paranormal field, I'm probably about the most skeptical hunter, I guess you could say, or investigator you'll find. The mediums don't really like me all that well because I don't get it. I'm not a psychic, right? So I don't understand it. And I was a part of a show called Paranormal State that included psychic walkthroughs. Yeah. And I've seen how they're made. Like they basically, you know, bring the psychics in and they'll walk around for like 3 hours guessing. You know,
Really?
so I would call these guys guessers. You know what I mean? I said, bring in the guesser, and they'll chop together the 5 things they hit.
That
you know,
actually
in a row.
makes sense as opposed to the 95 things that they miss.
100%. So,
Okay.
like, from my stance, you know, I'm trying to get something real and see something real. So when I see that, that doesn't mean that there's not psychic ability and there aren't people that can hit it and could nail things, but I've never seen it.
A lot of it is so vague, right? Like you know,
soft reading.
You naturally read things. Like we all naturally read things about people in general. And the subconscious is working all the time. You know, so when you walk into a room, I could walk through a room and guess for 3 hours. There's going to be 5 things I hit on.
Yeah,
You know
he
what I
owned
mean?
hats. Yes,
yes, he did.
Right.
That's my grandfather.
He loved hats. Is he here? Is he wearing one?
It's a hat rack in the corner. It's a key thing that psychics always do. They ask questions, and then they position it as proof. Like they'll say things like, "Who is John?"
Yeah, I used to.
And then someone will go, "Well, John's my uncle." God, he nailed it. No, he asked you.
Right, and the
He
pressure
asked you who is John,
and the
you
pressure's
said
now
it.
on you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the pressure's on you to fill in his gap.
What I want to see him do is say, I know your Uncle John.
Yeah.
His last name is this, and this is, you know what I mean?
Never happens,
until I see that from that kind of detail from the psychical community, or the psychic medium community. It's just hard for me to say that I can believe it. You know what I mean?
I used to watch Crossing Over with John Edwards, and it always seemed like the biggest bullshit.
Then to you?
'cause he
Why
would
did
always-
you watch it? Did it inspire you?
No, I was stoned on the couch at 3:30 in the afternoon, and it was on UPN or whatever channel it was on. And I'd be like,
Crazy.
oh.
My business partner went to his show just to check it out.
Yeah.
And he was actually impressed by him.
Really?
He was really impressed me. He said live that he pulls off some amazing stuff. So I haven't seen
Gotta
him,
see
so
him
I don't
live.
know.
But that's what always
But I guess
happens, though.
that's
Like
it.
it's easy to be skeptical when you're watching on a screen, but like so many of these guys are super charismatic too, right?
Right.
So like once you see them and they're looking at you in the eyes,
Right.
and you kind of watch them do their thing,
They're hucksters.
you get swept up by it
Right.
a
They're
lot of times.
Yep. They're touching you on your leg while they're taking your wallet. That's
right.
Where he's like, "Oh, is this a new sweater? Who's Mark? My dead brother."
So I watched the Sir No Face movie. How
Very
much
cool.
like
You actually saw a rough
It's a
cut
rough
that's
cut.
20 minutes longer than the actual film that we're showing. So you actually got more of the story than most of it.
can I talk about the end of it?
Well,
or is that a-
don't like give it all away, but if you're don't give away. You know what part I'm talking about here? It's not.
Oh man, Sam's gonna blow this. Let me just tell you right now.
He's pointing at his dick.
That we think Sir No Face is one thing and he's another thing. That's what I'm
Right.
talking
No, no,
about.
okay,
Don't
yeah,
give
totally,
that away.
totally. I
Okay,
won't give that
gotcha,
away. No, no,
gotcha.
absolutely, right.
Okay.
But like, I really, the premise of the movie, and you do it as part of the, I guess, the tour, the Sir No Face Lives tour, is that So there's this island in Australia, and it's exactly what you were talking about. It's like a very, very haunted island.
Well, supposedly haunted.
Supposedly.
They say haunted.
Allegedly.
Because it's history.
Yes, because there was a prison on it, and then they also found a torture room that was buried that they didn't talk about. That was other stuff was on top of it, and there's this ghost that is reportedly.
I have a question about that before you go on. The torture room you mentioned. How did they find the torture room? Like, what made them dig down there to find that?
There was the story was there were some archaeologists that were digging around there, and they were looking for Aboriginal artifacts, and they came across this.
Okay,
that's how this happened supposedly.
And so the premise is that this Australian ghost hunter, paranormal investigator, whatever, found this ghost, this apparition.
Well, back up. This actually what happened was the Australian government sanctioned this paranormal investigation. They had the island. They owned this island that was a naval base, and they were looking for something to do with it because it hadn't been used since World War II. So they turned it into a public park, and they put all these like amazing tents and barbecue pits and all this stuff. And you can go there today. There's 4 free ferries. It's a beautiful, you could stand and look at the Opera House, the bridge, but there's not a soul on this island.
Really?
Do people go to it to camp or no?
Well, they don't because they're scared of it. But after hundreds of reports from civilians and from staff that worked for the government, finally they were trying to figure out what's going on. So they reached out to this gentleman, Craig Powell, who's the head of the West Sydney Paranormal Research Team, and they gave him the keys of the castle essentially.
Who's Craig?
And he's got the only known or one of the only known videos of a full-bodied apparition.
Yeah.
Right? Like you see.
How realistic is the video?
Extremely. I mean,
the video is realistic.
Yeah. Let me start out by saying this: when I set out to make this movie, I truthfully set out to debunk this man.
Are you a doubting Thomas?
The thing is, I am. I'm a believer, obviously, because I do this. But I've just seen 99% of most things can absolutely be proven. They really can. So,
and that's the whole movie is like figuring out if this guy's lying or telling the truth.
Right. And you kind of come on my journey, right? Yeah.
Right. And I went on your journey with you, and I have to tell you, just based on, you say you read people and conversations and stuff. Just as a person, I don't want to spoil whether or not the ghost is a real ghost or not, but as a human being, he seems like a liar of a person. Like he seems
Craig?
like he seems like a guy who lies constantly.
Dude, and the thing was like so many that's why every single thing with him I had to started with right down to where did you play football, where did you do that, you'll see in the movie I'm separating him from his wife, his friends, everybody to try to figure out, can I catch him in a lie? When this whole thing started, I looked at him and said, I'm going to make 1 or 2 movies because I want to tell the story. It's either going to be this amazing journey that you went on with this incredible evidence, or it's going to be a documentary about a dude that I'm going to expose to the world as the biggest liar known to man.
Sorry, Dan. What was the first moment where you said that he may be full of bull sugar? What happened?
Well, the first time of seeing the footage, and when he told me it was a government investigation, I was like, well, governments don't do this. But then he starts giving me all the paperwork, and it all adds up. And then the government contacts me, and I'm waiting for them to say to me, hey, we never did this. And they don't. They say, hey, can you not use our names in the email?
No shit.
And I'm like, whoa, yeah, well, no, I'm going to keep your names in because you're a public servant. But so you don't deny this? We have no comment. They just didn't want to touch anything. The thing is, I couldn't catch the guy lying anywhere.
So he's slippery.
He's either slippery or he's being honest.
Slippery Aussies.
Yeah.
When I finally took the footage to a friend of mine, Danny Patterson, is one of the head CGI animators in Hollywood. He did he was the guy that brought Transformers to life. He did Iron Man, Avengers, Benjamin Button. I took the footage to him and said, can you tell me if this is CGI? I'm not an expert in this. And his first response, which I loved, he said, well, listen, dude, I can't tell you this is a ghost because I don't believe in ghosts. And I said, well, good. Just tell me, is it CGI or not? And he came back and he's like, no, there's nothing about this that says it's CGI. In
That's
fact, he
sort of the
makes
big, like-
yeah, he kind of makes his own as well, and you could see the difference.
Do these on these islands? Are there a lot of cases of people being like touched or fucked with by these ghosts?
Yeah, nothing negative as far as like hurt or no one's scratched.
Oh, well,
no one's
that's
doing,
good.
Like,
I like a friendly ghost. if you ask me.
I'm more of a Casper guy.
I like a good-natured ghost.
Yeah, but there's phenomenal things that happen. Like the first story he told me, and again, I had to see the footage of it, check it out for myself, talk to people, is he said, I have this personal relationship with this ghost, sir. And he said, we all do. And I could get him to show me his light. Like he'll walk up and say, sir, can we see your light? And like a lightning bolt, this massive light would go off in the room.
No shit.
Yes, and he's like, I can do this on call. And in fact,
Dan is hooked.
I'm on board. That's all it took. No, but I mean, I am close enough to the edge there.
Because when he was a kid, he would say that, but instead of light, it would be genitals.
I go, excuse me, Mark, mom's boyfriend, can I see your light? And he goes, hey, your mom's at work for another hour. I don't see the harm.
Well, it was crazy. Well, not only did he do it for his team and having it filmed, but he went and grabbed skeptics literally like on the mainland, like who wants to come see this?
I'll go see you, crazy ghost. He goes, I like to fight him if possible.
Well, he brought people from the government out, and the government freaked out.
What's the island?
They were like, wow, Cockatoo Island is the name of it. Hilarious name, right? I know. It doesn't sound that menacing, right?
No, it doesn't.
Wait till you actually see it. It's actually very scary. But what's really freaky about this, I said, man, someone there had to plug something or whatever. He was like, oh no, knock yourself out. Like there's no power to the building.
Hey, Chad, is there any?
I'm like, you're kidding.
Now, when you say a light would illuminate the room, would it be like it would just get brighter?
It's just like poof. And the crazy thing is, it's so bright. It's not casting shadows, meaning that like the light source would be coming from everywhere.
It's just like this giant flash that fills up everything with white light and then stops.
Chad, is there any footage of this that's not in your film?
No, everything I'm talking about now is in the film.
But is there any footage that isn't?
Yeah. There's a bunch of more footage of things that happened.
Can we look this guy up, Troy, so we can see while we're talking to Chad, maybe see like one of his ghosts?
No, he doesn't put anything on YouTube.
Why?
Because that's like where footage goes to die. There's so much hoax footage on YouTube.
What does he do with that?
Trying to get paid.
That's the thing. No, here's the thing. I'll be completely transparent. He never asked me for a buck, has still not asked me for a buck, ever. He sat on the footage for I knew him for a year before he told me about this. And that's a big point of mine the whole time where I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why did he tell me about this?
I thought it was because ghosts don't like YouTube comments too.
Yeah, right.
They can hurt the undead as well as the. I still have feeling. Hey, I tried to illuminate the whole. I don't know why I'm doing Don Pardo from SNL.
Because he's dead.
Yeah, he is. It's me. Yeah, like show yourself featuring. He just does all the dead people.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you at the end of the movie it says Cockatoo Island is shut down.
Yeah,
but then on the website it says that you could still do it says they do glamping on Cockatoo Island.
What's glamping?
Glamping is like glamorous camping for rich folk.
You're watching the rough cut, right? So
yes.
Since that's happened, what's weird is they're saying that you can do like paranormal a tour or whatever right now.
Yeah.
But they don't take them anywhere. They don't take them anywhere that they were at.
It's a scam?
They just walk them around the bottom of the island. They don't take them to any of the rooms, none of the buildings, none of the anything.
But they tell them it's a paranormal tour, and then they don't go to the place with the most paranormal activity.
Of course. They walk around the island, tell them stories. You know, it's funny, when we went there to film, because I wanted to go in the place.
Yeah.
You know? And the second we hit the dock, we were like 4 or 5 of these guys that work on the island just descended upon us. And their thing was like, well, what are you filming for? You can't film here. And we were like, oh, no, we're just tourists. We're just tourists filming. So they're driving around in go-karts trying to find us. And we had to have like people be like the lookout to get an interview with Craig on the island. Like they did not want him on there. They didn't want him. And it was
why don't they want? Why?
This is what I think happened. This is just my gut. And Craig has his own thoughts too, which I think he's actually pretty on. When they put all this time and money into this island, and this took them by surprise, all this paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
I think they're sitting around going, well, not being afraid of what it is. I think they're just kind of saying, well, we need to find a way to flip this. You know what I mean? So let's call like Craig, who's like a native son. He's like from West Sydney, where this is at, former rugby guy. He's a charismatic dude.
Yeah.
And I think they were looking for them to go in and kind of make it fun and say, yeah, we got an EVP. We got a few footsteps. Come on. We'll like be your guide. But then he turns around and says, hey, come out here, and lightning bolts are going off inside the building. They're showing footage of, like, this creature, this ghost, like, moving around and looking at the camera, and they were freaked out. And I think they just went, whoa, we don't know what's going on. We don't know why he's doing it. Stop it.
Is there footage of the ghost in this?
It's too much, guys. I have the Flash.
Let me see the Flash.
Yeah, and there's footage of the ghost, too.
Yeah, well, that's the feature, so yeah.
In the movie. You just have to find
Well, that makes people definitely want to see this.
So I run over to my partner Thomas because
you're not showing this online, right?
No.
Okay, thank you.
They uploaded it to YouTube.
Audio only.
Okay, gotcha.
In order to see it, you have to go to the Sir No Face Lives tour.
You have to fast forward a little bit to actually see the
schoolhouse.
And you can go to the tour. It's sirnoface.com tonight at the White Eagle Theater in Jersey City.
Tomorrow night at the White Eagle.
It says tonight's a mistake. And tomorrow, when's the Count Basie Theater in Red Bank? The Trocadero in Philly and Ridgefield Playhouse in Ridgefield, Connecticut. It's got you tonight, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday. Tonight is Tuesday.
Is today the
8:15?
The 15th, we're in Jersey City at the White Eagle Theater, August 16th. August 17th, we're at the Count Basie in Red Bank. August 18th at the Trocadero, and August 19th at the Ridgefield
Travis made a humiliating mistake.
Yeah, it's all good. You can get tickets at www.sirnoface.com. You could watch all the trailers, all this stuff, and videos from out this tour, so you can see people's responses and what they've thought of it. And that's been the funnest part of this whole tour is, the Q&A afterward. It's been awesome because everybody's like, skeptics are coming out, believers are coming out, and it's just such an amazing case. That
Do you think the Warrens were full of shit? Because I watched the Conjuring movies and then, did all the Warrens research, which I think a lot of people did. Yeah. And after the first one, I was like, oh, this is cool. And read about the real Annabelle doll that they have and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then the second movie came out and I started reading about the true case that the second movie was based on. And there were so many holes.
Yeah, well,
in that theory, and it was like it made me be like, oh, man.
Was that the movie makers that did that though? That might have been the movie makers.
I know.
No. There's articles. You go back and you look at the articles from the time, and there's people disproving the stuff that the Warrens did.
Well, weren't the Lutzes shown to be kind of bullshit too?
Yeah, well, yes and no. I mean, I know Lorraine. My family, I have a documentary on my life story called American Ghost Hunter. That's out there right now. And Lorraine is in this documentary. Her last case that she investigated was my family's case. I've known Lorraine for years. The thing that I would tell you about Lorraine is very, very old school, very go to Sunday school, very religious. Like, she approaches everything with a religious tone, which not a lot of people dig, what she says, at least I've asked her about, past cases and stuff, and she says that in all the cases that she's done, they eventually stopped talking to media because she was saying that in her belief that the reality of anything that happens, everybody's trying to get a piece of it because they're all, capitalizing on it, right?
Ghost shirts, ghost mugs.
Books like the Lutz, what happened with the Lutzes, everybody and their brother was banking on that case in Amityville, except the Lutzes.
Right.
My guess is the Lutzes kind of realized they were late to the party.
Yeah.
And then there were certain details in interviews at the very end that started changing.
To make a little money, where they go, oh, we didn't tell you the full story.
If I had to guess... Yeah, I guess they're kind of looking around going, everybody's rich off our stuff but us.
Okay, the DeFeos didn't do well either.
No. Well, Ronnie's in. Is he dead yet?
I don't know. Look up Ronnie DeFeo.
He's changed his story so many times.
Who's the DeFeos? I don't know this last.
Amityville Horror. He was the guy that killed his family, which they say sparked the entire thing. And George Lutz and his wife were the ones who moved into the house that saw the ghost.
Right. It sounded like you guys were just naming families you grew up with. You're like, what about the Lutzes? You're like, the DeMayos were good. I like them. Good barbecue, fun.
He's had spouses though. He's been married, Ronnie DeFeo.
So he's still alive. The guy who murdered his family in Amityville.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
74.
I knew. Oh, he's 74 years old.
No. He murdered them in 74.
Okay.
He's 65 now.
Yeah, it's one of those cases that has, I did a documentary called The First Amityville, and what's really strange, you could also check this out on aghtelevision.com, my website there. It's about how Amityville, believe it or not, it's a complete copycat case. Way back in like 1912 in Iowa, there's a place called the Villisca Axe Murder House. It's the same exact crime, except with an axe and not a rifle. They don't know how the person did it. There was one person. There's the question of, was it one person or was it another? Did someone help him? They arrested this guy, George Jacqueline Kelly, but he said a black figure came to me and said, suffer the children unto me. DeFeo said a black figure came to him, brought him to like literally the same case.
Were they aware? Like, was DeFeo aware of the case?
Well, that's what I don't know.
He might have read it.
Right. For all we know, he read it, or the Lutzes could have read it. Like, we don't know. But the details are identical.
So what about the family after? Was there a family after saying they saw ghosts?
The family that lived there after, every family that's lived there since has not reported.
I mean, Amityville, they have not. There's no Jody the pig. Apparently and didn't they change the face of the house too now?
Yes, the windows are gone. The Dutch windows that look like the eyes. What's back to this case that was a copycat case. The same thing. What's crazy about it is the Villisca Axe Murder House also had the Dutch windows.
Now, do you think they did that because they just got sick of tourists?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, the people that are living there are just living their lives, and this is going on.
They know 4 people were killed. 4 people were killed in that house. That's so crazy.
Well, more than anything, they know it's the Amityville house. If you buy it, you should expect that's going to happen. You know what I mean? People are going to be coming there every single day. It's to this day.
I think I've driven by it once.
I to be honest, I never have. I mean, I've been through the neighborhood in the area and never stopped by it.
But as going to something as intense as this Australian island is something like Amityville, you're like, I don't give a shit about that. I kind of know what it is. I know where it comes from. As opposed,
this case in general was the most mind-boggling thing I've ever come across. I truthfully believe the footage is authentic.
Yeah,
the trail of people that experienced this and to not be able to shake any of them. And the fact that, again, let's remember, this didn't start with Craig. This started with the government. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing.
That's the weird part.
Yeah, it didn't start with Craig. Can we see the flash, Troy?
Yeah, here you go. I don't know why there's no audio.
You gotta hit play.
There you go. Here it comes. They're in the dark right now. And you'll see this flash go on.
Thanks, sir.
That's the light going on. When you saw
the entire room lit up. You can see them all sitting there.
What's crazy is you'll see the interview with Rye. Here's a replay of it.
Go slow motion. Oh no!
Wow.
And there's another one again. Hold on. We have another. There's another one where it happens that they filmed. It's coming right up. And you'll see this guy that is responding to this.
Right.
He's Craig's travel agent. He's not even like a ghost hunter. He just brought him out there to see it. Told him about it. Check it out. Look at this.
You see the flash?
Yeah.
Are you in, Soda, or are you out?
Yeah.
Wait, who's the guy with the flashlight?
What?
I'm kidding.
Yeah, this whole time
he's freaking out for a second. I'm going, what?
It's just all something. This entire time it's just been Australians freaking out at flashlights.
Yeah.
I don't know how you got the light in your hand, and then it goes off and it goes on. You can control light like that. I mean, that would. Yeah, that shit would freak me the fuck out.
Oh yeah, well, especially there's one of my favorite parts of the interviews is when I'm talking to Rob, and that's just one of his members on his team that was out there, and I say to him, like, he's talking about his relationship and that he's seen these lights, and I say to him, like, you do realize this sounds crazy as fuck, everything you're saying, and he's like, he pauses and he's like, I don't care, and he goes, I went out to the island 12 times. 12 times I saw the light.
Wow.
And you can see, like, the you know what I mean? Like,
I wonder,
he's just sold, you know what I mean? He's sold, you know? So.
But is there like a ghost green room where they're like, I got an 8:30 show. I gotta go do the lights for these fucking morons.
Like
they don't know that it's just me fucking taking a shit in the middle of a ghost shit in the middle of the room.
The waiting room in Beetlejuice?
Yeah, exactly. Or they're like, what do you guys got? You're like, I gotta go to that Australian fucking former prison.
So you were haunted when you were younger?
Yeah, it's weird that I would have never guessed in my adult career that it would involve anything with the paranormal. I grew up a total atheist. I mean, complete. Like my family never spoke of ghosts or God. Or my dad was an Air Force engineer. I'm just a man of math and science.
Right.
When I was 12 years old, my father, unfortunately, he was out of the Air Force now, and he was the chief engineer at a concrete company, and he was in a terrible explosion that burned 3/4 of his body, and he was supposed to die. The doctors took us to say goodbye to him twice. Both times he lived through. And this is the first time I ever heard my dad speak of anything supernatural. And the doctors were saying this was a miraculous recovery. And he was saying, well, no, it wasn't. My mother would stand in the burn unit with him, and she'd put her hand on the top of his head. It's the only place that he could be touched where he wasn't burned.
Oof,
and she would just whisper to him, I'm here with you. Stay with me. I'm here with you. Stay with me. And he said that he could physically feel himself being healed through her touch, and he found God at this time. Again, I didn't find God.
And he became a religious guy?
He became a religious guy.
Interesting.
And I did not find God or become a religious guy through this story, but it was working for him, so I wasn't going to tell him no.
How old were you when this happened?
I was 12.
So you were 12, and then he went heavy religion. Like, did he go heavy, or just kind of I'm religious and I'll leave?
Religious for himself. Yeah, he didn't push it off or anything. But we had to move to Iowa because once you heal from, you never really heal from a burn. But it was 3/4 of his body just scar tissue. So he couldn't be in heat. We lived in southern Texas, and he'd have a heat stroke if he went outside for very long.
Because you can't sweat.
Right, you can't sweat. Right.
Ugh.
So we had to move to southwestern Iowa, which is where their family's from. And because, my dad loves children and kids and all that stuff, but the scar tissue would scare them. So he just didn't want to be in a big city and all that type of stuff. So we bought and moved into this town called Persia, Iowa, a town of 336 people.
Yeah.
We bought a home that the two previous families moved out of because they said it was haunted. And not, really meaning, just because even my dad was religious, that doesn't necessarily mean he believes in ghosts and goblins and all this stuff. At the time, we didn't have a ton of money, so it seemed like a good deal. The house was way cheap. They were just trying to dump it and get it off. And in that house is where everybody in my family had experiences, and crazy experiences that eventually my mother dealt with possessionary stuff. The film American Ghost Hunter is me trying to determine if my mother is just mentally, psychologically ill, or if there is something spiritually.
What kind of stuff did you experience?
Oh man, and it's these are the stories I hate to tell because you would never believe it unless you were there.
But it's your experience.
Well, let me precursor by saying, I get it. You'd have to be there to see it. But look, the first experience I ever had that terrified me, and I was the last person. Everybody in my family experienced stuff until me. And I'm thinking, my entire family is going crazy at once. What is going on? I was told, my dad told me, you have a black spirit or a black looking thing that was at the end of his bed. My mother is saying she's being hit by things. There were spontaneous fires that started in the house at weird times. So my parents.
So you just walk into a room, there's be a mini fire going on?
Yeah, no, I experienced that. I was sitting downstairs with my entire family, and I hear, it sounds like my little sister's VHS is on upstairs.
Yeah.
And, my dad's saying, Katie, go turn your VHS, your VHS on. She's like, I did. And I'm like, Katie, I could hear it. Go turn it off. And she's, adopted. She's, 3 and 4 years old at this time. And I'm like, Katie, I could hear it. She's like, I turned it off. I run to the top of the stairs and look back, and her door to her room is closed. And under it, you can just see black smoke just moving across the floor.
What?
So I open it up, and all her dolls are on fire.
Oh, fuck that.
So maybe what you heard was the crackling of the flames.
And it could be. I don't know what I heard, but the thing was, there was no. To this day, there was no source of the fire.
Well, Katie was adopted. Do you think that she might have done that? She might have lit the fire for attention.
I don't know how at 3 years old she would have.
Oh, she was 3. Okay.
Yeah. Well, nor would we leave her with something to light a fire.
My parents always did.
Oh, you did? Yeah. They go, here, Jim. Happy birthday. Here's another barbecue lighter. Have fun. Go by the charcoal. Play with it.
Jim, please play with matches in traffic.
Yeah.
So was your dad? Where was your dad not? Was his face burned?
The only thing that wasn't burned was his face. Pretty much the rest of his body was singed.
But it said it got to you before you finally believed.
Yeah. So. My parents had gone grocery shopping, and I was left alone in the house.
Mistake.
Well, I mean, I didn't believe. Again, you have to think, to that point in my life, I've been I'm an atheist. I don't believe in anything like that. So I walked around the house going, okay, if there's something listening, you do whatever you want. Like, I want to see.
You were saying that?
Oh, yeah. No, openly. Just
Out loud?
Out loud.
Wow.
You know, if there's something here, do whatever you want. I don't believe, you know. Nothing happened. I was like, all right, this is such bullshit. Like,
I might jerk off right here on the couch. I'm home alone.
Jerk off in this ghost's face.
Yeah. That night, you know, I'm going to sleep, and like literally right as I'm, you know, going to close my eyes, I mean, it sounds like if you took your fist and you just hit the wall as hard as you possibly could, to the point that it rumbles the whole room. I mean, that's what I hear. And I sit straight up in bed. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, my brother's room is adjacent to me. So, like, push his door open. And I'm out of my room in 2 seconds. I'm like, what the hell? And I could not believe that he didn't hear anything. I was like, there's no way you couldn't have heard that. So I'm already playing devil's advocate to myself. I'm going, you know what, dude, you were almost falling asleep.
And you heard a loud noise and you ran.
Right. And I'm thinking, this could have been a dream. You're freaked out in this house 24/7. So laying down, I tell my brother, I'm down next to you, bro. I'm not sleeping back in my room again, just in case I was right.
Right.
And he's just like, well, okay, whatever. But I didn't hear anything, which made me feel better, actually. I was like, okay, maybe that. So literally, we're both like just kind of talking about, you know, the things that mom and dad see. And he had an experience where he went down to shoot a pool ball, and you know the pool balls, some of them have a little black circle right on the pool ball, and the pool ball moved, didn't roll, slid when he went down to hit it, and we were talking about that, and right as we fall asleep, right as same kind of thing, right as we're falling asleep, I think he might have actually been asleep, I was still awake, right as my eyes start to close, boom, back of the wall again, and I see him sit up, and he looks at me, and I'm like, no, you heard that, and we're like both sitting there, and boom, boom, boom. It just starts happening on alternating walls.
No,
so this was my like first experience where the first thing that happened to me where I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, and it continued on that night. I mean, that was the first night my mother had possessionary issues where my dad woke up to her speaking weird and being having her hair pulled and by things that weren't there, scratched, and
at what point are you like, let's just fucking move?
Yeah, how do you not know your mother? How do you not know?
They tried.
You have to learn to sweat, Dad. We're going back to Texas.
Yeah, but mental
tried.
illness is what you thought it might be at first.
Well, of course. I mean, I'm even to this day. Even having seen the things I've seen, again, I'm still a believer in science. You know, like 99.99% of the time, there's an explanation.
Yeah, but the one is this. By the way, is this the ghost right here? No one else can see this but our show.
Yes, this is.
We're not showing that to anywhere. Can we see that?
Watch him peek out. Yeah,
this is the video of the full body apparition that nobody has.
There we go. I added this stuff, obviously.
Yeah. And there it is, and then just jump. What the fuck?
You'll see it. They'll bring it back up, and we'll slow it down for you to get a look at it.
He's got old-timey. He looks got old-timey face though.
And they'll rerun it again.
Is that his shadow?
How tall is he?
So I don't want to give a lot.
Good question, Dan. Good question.
Yeah, that's fucking creepy.
What's really weird?
Because he looks like he lives there, and he's like, "Hey, you guys are still here? All right. I'm gonna go back to bed. You all want anything? Water? No. My friend did his lightning trick. All right.
All right.
Yeah. You're good then. Yeah.
He's like the end of Ferris Bueller. Like, you're still here.
Yeah.
Go. It's over.
The one thing that
I'm not doing any more light tricks.
In his bathrobe.
Yeah.
The one thing about the footage to me that hit me right away is in the 25 years that I've been doing this, there's twice. Well, when these things manifest, they get physical, and I've seen that at my house. That's kind of the point I was getting. In the 25 years that I've done this, I believe I have seen a ghost twice.
Okay.
And two things about it both times blew my mind. One being that there appears to be some sort of mass to a degree. And secondly, they just move independent of our physics and the way we move. There's just a fluidity to how they move, and the way this kind of moves in and moves out, especially its arm. And
like, it doesn't look like so we see this full-bodied apparition, as it's called, peek out a doorway and then go back in, so it disappears. But it doesn't when it moves, you're right. It doesn't move like
like
in
a
footsteps.
human. And
like
you
it doesn't
yeah,
look like
and
it's stepping and then stepping. It looks like it's flowing.
I
in
kind of
and flowing
disagree
out.
because watching that, it kind of looks like you just pop around the corner and be like, nah, now they're here. And then, like, it looks like if you thought someone was in the other room and they go, hey, no face, can you see if that camera crew's still there? That's the look he does where he goes, yeah, no, they're there.
No,
They go,
it's close.
shit.
I mean, it's human-ish. You know, Danny, the animator, that's one of the things that they do as animators is they study the physics of the human body.
Yeah.
Because when they create stuff, they got to get it right.
Right. Yeah.
And that's one of the things that he said to me too. He said humans don't just move that perfectly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We see it again?
We just by nature we're herky jerky.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
because it does. But I'm saying this, there does have like a little bit of a human movement
Yeah, yeah.
tinge to it of like,
Sure.
Show her my no face.
yeah. He's like this. He's like, I mean, it is fucking terrifying.
It's freaky. You can fast forward a little bit. It's coming out in just a second. Yeah.
Go on now. I've seen a ghost.
You're like, Chad,
Really?
you're killing me with the time frame there.
Now it's just the music.
Oh, not eat, no.
Right after this, it comes.
See, there is kind of like a,
It's very like
with the shoulder. There's kind of like,
it's like a.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it dodges and moves back super
jerks,
fluid.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
yeah.
humans by nature are just a little more herky jerky than
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? It's crazy stuff, man. It's crazy footage.
Yeah. What do you think, Jim?
It's hard to say. I mean, I'm so skeptical.
The whole thing was so the whole
I don't know.
movie.
I hope you get a chance to watch the whole
I'll
thing,
watch some of
brother.
it. Yeah, I'll watch the whole thing.
It's
Yeah,
taking that
because-
footage and like showing it to like the CGI animator, showing it to this guy,
Right,
getting
right,
different
right.
You
people's
gotta
takes on
remember,
it.
like what makes anything real or fake is context, right?
Right.
And that's one thing that Craig did that was smart when he said, because I said to him, why you never throw it on YouTube? And he said, on YouTube, there's no context to anything. It's just another piece of footage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if
That's
that's
a
on
smart
YouTube.
move,
If
you know
that's
what I
on
mean?
YouTube, if it's just by itself on YouTube,
Oh,
it's
that's
fake. Yeah.
Well, everything is fake on YouTube, right?
Right.
It's like that's what. So it's smart for him to do that to keep it off, you know. But that was my whole time with him. I was like, "Did you set a trap for me?" You see that in the beginning of the film, where I'm asking him to do his face. You know what I mean? I'm just like, "Did you do this? You knew I was coming. You came to my show. You know what I mean? You
Right.
met me here. You know." But again, I knew him for a year, and he didn't tell me about it until a year after I knew him.
And then he didn't tell you about this island or anything about it until after a year after he knew you.
I
And
knew
then he's
for
like, you got
about
to
a
see
year.
this.
Yeah. Well, it happened. Some of my fans over there said, we want to go ghost hunting with you. You brought this film of Blood Red Sky over, but we want to ghost hunt. I don't know where to ghost hunt. I don't have the connections. He had the West Sydney Paranormal Research Team. That's his team. So I called him and said, do you have a connection that we can go to? I'd like to do an event for some fans. And he said, yeah, actually, I have access to this island right now. You can do the event out there. And at that time, I didn't really look into the island that much. You know, I was like, oh, okay, cool. He's got a cool place. Just before I went over there, I was just like, what is this?
Right.
Where am I going? You know what I mean? So it's the craziest experience I have ever been a part of. I truly believed in the beginning that between him and then 8 members of his team and all the people that were involved and the government, I figured I would catch somebody tripping up here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Someone fuck up.
Somebody
Nobody
will fuck
did.
up. Nobody, man. Not even close. And you see in the film, there's many times where you talk about where I think I got him. Where I'm like,
Right.
maybe he lied about that. Ooh, I think maybe I have him here. And I'm going all the way with it. Like I'm sitting his wife down, looking her straight in the eye and going, you have every reason to hoax this.
Right.
Like tell me, like we're going after it. And the bottom line, man, is I couldn't find an ounce of deception.
Were you guys in the room when that thing happened, or where was this?
No, I wasn't. This was during their so when this happened, it's like 4 hours and 30 some minutes after the island, the guards had locked the building and shut it, and they just left a cam, which is very common. When you're ghost hunting, you just leave cameras in rooms, you pick a spot, plot it, leave it on. And the hope is that in a perfect world, something like this happens.
Who saw this footage for the first time?
Well, Craig was the one who found it, but he was not on the island when this happened. His wife was, and 3 other team members.
Yeah.
And 2 guards.
But like in the morning, did they come in the morning and like rewatch the tape and be like, oh,
no,
fuck.
in fact, it was a night that they reported that nothing really happened. They just they didn't even see this in the morning. They just showed back up in the morning, grabbed their camera because they left it running overnight, got the guards to unlock it, open it back up, left, went home, dumped the footage off to Craig because he's got the deck.
Yeah.
And then a couple days later, a couple nights later, he came across it.
Jeez.
So
have you ever been in a hotel? Sure. And you're like, this is.
Yeah.
Jim, what's that?
Oddly enough, I'm fucking in my house.
Check in, they do everything for you. It's great. You come in a towel, you leave it on the floor, it's gone the next day.
What?
Right.
Have you ever been in a hotel that you feel is haunted?
Oh, sure.
And but they don't tell you?
Yeah, well, it depends. Some hotels obviously realize there's a financial benefit to saying it's haunted.
Yeah.
There's people that, like the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado, right? They advertise
my mom
The Shining.
My mom worked there in college.
And it's a
What's it
haunted
called? What's the
hotel.
hotel?
It is.
The Stanley in Estes Park, Colorado.
Is that where The Shining was shot?
The Overlook
is
where Overlook Hotel is where it was shot. But Stephen King had his experience staying in the Estes Park Stanley.
Now, is the Stanley a nice hotel?
Yes.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Stanley.
But it's
my
old.
mom,
It's old, scary, creepy.
My mom worked there in
It's haunted.
college because my mom went to college in Colorado and in Estes Park. She worked at the Stanley, and she said like it was haunted. Like
really?
Like she said she would go into a banquet room and
It is haunted, yeah.
And they would have the tables set up, everything after like a dinner service. They would like clean the tables and have them all set, and then in the morning when she'd come in, the tables would be stacked on each other, like moved into weird places in the room, blocking doors. Like,
did she ever hug a guy getting out of the tub?
Yeah. that character was based on my mom.
I'd like to stay there, and it's still an active hotel.
Yeah, very much.
It's haunted. I have I'll email Roland some footage for you guys to see from the Stanley. I have an amazing piece of evidence I captured there.
But
That was mind-bending.
My mom worked there in I think right before The Shining came out, or before The Shining, and she said like the staff was pretty much just like, there's the ghosts. There's like a lady that a whale at one point.
No,
There's
it truly is haunted.
Like, but they're like, they're like, it's normal. They're just like, it's just like normal.
What's
thing.
the footage that you're going to send to Roland? What is it? Show?
It's myself, my wife, and a friend of mine, and we're in the employee break room, and you hear these 4 boot steps walk up to us, and it happens at a time where I literally accidentally dropped the camera, and you could see my feet, my wife's feet, and the guys that I'm with, and we're all wearing like rubber sneakers, so it's not us going click, 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 click. In front of us to the left, there's a little breakfast table and a chair, and you could hear it slide on its own. And my wife, who's not a ghost hunter, is a school teacher, I'm just like forcing her out there with me. You know what I mean? You hear her scream bloody murder, and right in the middle of the room, this black shadow just stands up. Like, remember I said there's some kind of mask to him? Yep. It, like, envelops over this string that's hanging, you can see it in, and just with the same fluidity that you see here, fires out the room. And I'll send you guys this. You can see it for yourself.
I won't sit in this room if you're going to yell at me. Your wife offended the ghost?
No, but
I just wanted to pull up a seat.
What year did you film this in the Stanley?
Oh, this would have been back, I want to say 2006.
Okay.
And what's so funny about ghost hunting with people that are not ghost, I hate it. I hate taking her out because it's a lot of this. Like you're sitting there and it's like,
was that a ghost?
Something going to happen soon. I don't know, babe. So this is what you do with your time.
Yeah.
Is it in the mountains of Stanley?
Yes.
Estes
You got to
Park
drive
is-
a good 30 minutes to get there.
By the way, it's a gorgeous drive.
Yeah.
It's a fucking gorgeous
Is it a fun
drive.
place to stay for a couple of days?
Oh, yeah, man.
I don't know. I've never stayed there.
It is. It's a beautiful place. They've got an awesome restaurant there. Great view. Like, no matter what, it's just the most beautiful view.
I'll have the ghost cutlets, please.
It's really, really funny. That's great. That's really something spectacular.
Yeah, I'm always fascinated by that because I think more than them, I believe in ghosts.
Well, one of the reasons that I love doing tours like this is the U.S. Gallup poll and Monash University, which oddly enough is an Australian university. They both conducted, I want to say it was in the early 2000s, 2003, and then I think 2006. I might be wrong on this. You can Google it out there in Radioland. But they both did 2 separate surveys to determine worldwide belief in the paranormal. And both of them, independently of each other, basically figured out that it was somewhere between 70 to 76% of the population actually believes in the paranormal.
Yeah.
And what I used to say about that, I said, wow, so if there's 6 billion people in the world and say 70% believe in them, and if you just take claims, right, that people have claims, I saw something, I know it, this moved, I saw it. We're talking about hundreds of millions of claims a year that go on with the paranormal. Only takes one for it to be real, one to be authentic for it to be real.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
right.
Because there's certainly a degree of hoaxers. There's certainly a degree of crazy fuckers.
Honest mistakes.
There's a degree of honest mistakes. But there's also that that shaving of 1% of things that just don't make sense.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the world's filled with those.
What do you think of all the movies, especially lately? I feel like the paranormal as a subject matter in horror movies has become like the new thing with the Conjuring universe, because it's spawned off 4 or 5.
That was a very frightening movie.
The Conjuring?
Yeah.
Oh. You see The Conjuring too? You see Annabelle?
I didn't like the skinny thing in The Conjuring too. I'm like, all right, but the original Conjuring frightened me.
Well, that's the thing about the those movies is that they started actually showing the demon or the thing that was, and so you're taking a risk when you do that, because back in the day it used to be like you wouldn't actually see the monster.
I heard a ghost when I was a kid. I never saw one.
Where'd you hear one?
Where'd you hear a ghost?
In my room.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I did.
Were you asleep?
I don't want to talk about it.
No, Jim.
We start with tummy kisses.
We've all been sharing. What happened with the ghost in the room?
Just said one thing.
What did it say? I like dicks.
Sam.
It was a premonition.
It's a soundbite of me out of context. It's just
like a YouTube video.
It's just an interruption to a conversation.
Yes, it was.
A total interruption. But what do you think of not you, Jim? You.
Well, you know what's weird? Like, as someone who was obviously heavily involved in the paranormal field before all the TV shows, I mean, I was a decade in before that all started happening. I wasn't surprised that it became a popular thing once the web really started taking over, because all it took is for people to have the ability to share anonymously.
Yeah.
And then I knew it would kind of blow up.
Why? Right? But why do you think people are sharing? Why do you think the anonymously thing was it? Because they don't want to sound crazy?
I'll give you an example. Yeah, the morning after I had my first experience, and I remember sitting there just staring at my breakfast, and my best friend yells my name. He's like, "Chad," and I'm like, "What?" He's like, "What are you doing?" And I remember just sitting there thinking, okay, this earth-shattering event just happened that just ripped apart my belief structure. And I can't tell a person, because I will be a liar.
Right.
I will be crazy. Yeah. I will be seeking attention. But yet this event happened. This happened in my life. It's just like when I always say to people at events when they show up, it's like, if you came here for me to convince you that ghosts exist, I can't do that, because you have to experience it to be convinced. But what I can do is tell you I believe and show you why.
Well, Chad, it also says that you debunk, and it says you've developed a reputation as a leading debunker, and you've discovered rational explanations to many of the world's most famous paranormal. Which one that was a famous one that you kind of thought had a rational explanation to it?
One of the most famous ones was it was something that was publicly thrown out there by networks and everybody else. In Louisville, Kentucky, there's the Waverly Hills Sanatorium. And it is this 5-story, 180,000 square foot abandoned tuberculosis hospital. And these, the legends that were on TV and all this time said a couple things. They said that 60,000 people died, in this building.
What a shitty hospital.
Exactly.
One of the worst.
We keep losing them every fucking time.
I'd hate to go there.
Well, we knew when streptomycin was invented, and we knew when that's the cure for it, and we also knew when the building switched over and became like this geriatrics home, and we also could through our own research we found a statewide number of people who were basically afflicted with tuberculosis. And what we figured out is that if it was 60,000 people, literally one person would have to be dying every 1.2 seconds, in the building. Right. I'm like, this is bullshit. You know what I mean? At the same time, in room on floor 5, there was a story and a legend of this nurse ghost, supposedly, that became pregnant by a doctor there, and he killed her and buried her body, and that she later hung herself in room 503. We were able to, her name right now slips my mind. This was, back in 2006 that we did this. But we were able to determine that There was no one by her name ever hired there, according to the logs and the records. There's certainly nowhere on the property that anybody knows of anybody being buried as far as her. But more importantly, what they're calling room 503, if you look at the original schematics, room 503 was a hallway.
Okay.
It wasn't a room, so there's no way she hung herself in a hallway. So things like this that we do when we go into places, because you want to determine what is real. If a legend's fake, I don't want to chase a fake legend.
Right. What
You know
becomes
what I mean?
what becomes legend that turned out to be nonsense. That does hurt the cause.
Right.
The ones that are fake.
I totally agree. And just the thing is, it's like you have to be skeptical in order to, I think, A, to be taken seriously, but B, to find out what's real. You know what I mean? You don't want to waste your time running after something that's just simply made up.
In the movie, it said that you were not doing this anymore. That you were not doing paranormal investigation.
Yeah, I've done it for a long time, and the primary reason is I truly believe this footage to be authentic. And that was my goal. My goal throughout my career, I wanted to capture that piece of evidence. That is what pushed me and drove me to do it.
So do you feel like this was it? Like that you found
I think he's done it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm extremely honored that, fate and destiny put me in a place where I could tell the story and play a role in it getting out there. You know what I mean?
Do you think other ghosts are pissed at No Face for showing footage? They're like, dude, they caught you on tape. You fucked. You fucked it up for all of
No
us.
Face has always been an egomaniac.
Yeah, he's like, I just want to take a look around the corner. I was just looking to see if anyone was there. I didn't know they left the camera on.
I didn't know.
All right, he's doing his fucking lightning trick. Why isn't he in trouble? He goes, because he doesn't show up physically. You're not allowed to put a shadow. Yeah, that fucking movement is...
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's creepy
chilling.
as shit.
I've watched the footage over and over again. It freaks me out every time I see it, especially at the events when you see it full screen and it's just right there. It's like,
And the people can see it, just to plug it, sirnoface.com. And there are some tickets available, but these things typically sell out. The dates starting tomorrow, I believe, at the White Eagle Theater in Jersey City. The night after is the Count Basie Theater in Red Bank. The Friday is the Trocadero in Philadelphia, and Saturday is the Ridgefield Playhouse in Ridgefield, Connecticut. They're all good gigs.
I would be interested to see if you find anything odd about the Trocadero, because I filmed my hour special there for Comedy Central, and
a ghost took all the laughter out.
I was haunted by a bomb. But one of the guys that works there, I was like, hey, this place feels fucking creepy. And he's like, yeah, this place is haunted. And he just said it so matter-of-factly that I was like, is it though? And then there was a moment where I was alone up in the green room before like the filming, and we were just like checking the place out. I was like, it just creeped me out.
Oh, no, you just thought they were ghosts because you kept hearing boo.
Okay, all right. It would have been better the first time, but I brought it back.
Theaters have a big history of being haunted. Like,
Yeah?
I mean, I've never investigated the Trocadero. I have to look into it. But yeah, there's theaters all over the country that supposedly are haunted.
You think you can get me into the Warren House? I keep trying to visit that Warren House, and it's always sold out.
He wants to get in there and Nambla.
Could, but unfortunately, she just announced literally like a month ago that she's like retired, ixnay, off the grid. She's up there in the age.
Make room for one more. You know what I mean?
What's the Warren is?
Elizabeth Warren is the
Ghost hunter.
The paranormal person that all those Conjuring movies are based off of.
Lorraine Warren.
Yeah,
not Elizabeth.
Elizabeth Warren might be president someday.
She was the Massachusetts senator that tackles big bankers.
That's what, can you get me into Elizabeth Warren's house?
Excuse me, Ghost, where were you 3 years ago?
I can't do anything about Elizabeth Warren for you.
Troy has a question.
I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was really good. You said that you were an atheist. Has that changed?
Yes. I'm not denominational because I just, how could I possibly wrap my head and say, I know what that, side of the world is. But I certainly, you can't experience these things without acknowledging that there's something greater going on. You know what I mean?
Do you believe in angels?
It would be hard for me to say I specifically believe in angels. I don't disbelieve in the concept.
Do you think that what you saw here or things that you've seen are demonic?
No. No.
You don't feel. What is that? What do you mean by that? Like you don't feel like they're evil? You don't feel?
Yeah, and I've actually had people protest my shows before because they think that I'm I guess you want to say fundamentalist, the Christian, hardcore fundamentalist.
Right, sure.
There is a verse in the Bible that essentially says that all spirits that you talk to are evil or demonic, right? So there's people that think that I'm urging people to talk to the demonic, which of course I'm not doing that. But the thing is, I certainly believe in evil. I believe in good and bad. I believe in, you know what I mean? But the whole like demonic concept as we know it, as Hollywood presents it, is very Catholic in structure. And I'm not Catholic.
Well, so you don't think this Mr. No Face is evil?
No.
But if ghosts aren't evil, why the fuck are they pounding on the walls like that so much?
Well, I think it's like anything else. 99% of almost all hauntings are completely malevolent. They're not, most people live with ghosts all the time and have no problems with anything.
Because you want to be heard, too.
You're going to hear about you're going to hear about the cases that are scary. And I think in life, you have a small percentage of people that are assholes, and most people are pretty good. And I think the same thing with the paranormal.
Couple asshole
ghost assholes.
Right. Yeah. So these ghost sightings are not, they're not based around good things that have happened. You said they've been based around murders and whatnot. So that's tragedies.
I never, if you watch this film, I certainly never state that any of the hauntings are based around tragedies. I just give the history of the island itself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any reason to believe that, No Face is evil. But no one on the island got hurt.
Right.
Craig had an incident which is on film
Yeah,
where
he got
he's
shocked or something.
Right,
Yeah.
where he's the back of his shirt is pulled, and there's this loud smash. Which they still don't even know what that was, but no one was ever hurt, cut, burned, or anything like that. And beyond that, no one ever felt like immense fear. There's a difference between being startled, and having fear of something, and no one ever felt like afraid to go to the island as well. So.
One other question too. There's a shot where you're looking down a hallway and then lights go on.
Yeah.
Now, are those lights or is that something just else illuminating?
No, what it is he
question.
has three. There's footage of this in the film too. He has 3 motion detectors, and the lights go off if anything triggers it. Motion, right? So you can see this long hallway, and as if a human being went walking down it, it's like poof, poof. Poof, and they all three
they're
go on.
sensing motion.
Right, and there's nothing there. There's nothing in front of it, and you can just see it happening.
Yeah, pretty impressive, right? Yeah, watch this. What if I told you I just rolled a ball down the hallway? This dumb thinks it's a ghost. It's not a ghost. That's just my cousin. I have him hiding in the alleyway. It's just a bunch of shucksters from Australia.
Of course it is.
So
it is an interesting. I'm a skeptic, but it's a very interesting documentary, and the footage is compelling. You definitely should see it if you want to go see these live shows. Tickets are available again. We've said Jersey City, Red Bank, Philly, Connecticut. So if you're here in the tri-state area, all the shows overseas sell out, so these will probably sell out. So just go and give it a shot if you believe this, or if you don't believe it and you want to see it and you want to debunk it in your own mind.
Yes.
SirNoface.com. We have to break.
Yes.
Chad, thank you very much. It was really interesting talking to you, and we appreciate you coming in.
You guys have been awesome. Thank you guys so much.
And it's on Twitter is AGH Chad. Is Chad's name on Twitter.
Yes.
So we'll take a break and come back with Dan, and we'll wrap up the show, and so stay there. We are returning.
Yes, and I should mention, with Dan Soder in the studio, that Dan will be joining me tomorrow night, Wednesday, at the Highline Ballroom.
Fucking A, right?
For Sam Roberts Wrestling Podcast.
That's right.
Live from there. If you want to get tickets, go to highlineballroom.com and come check us out. It's gonna
Talk
be a lot of fun.
wrestling.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Dan Soder do his Road Warrior Hawk impression, which is not mentioned nearly enough when the wrestling.
Yeah, man. SummerSlam week. Hopefully, Ric Flair pulls through.
Yeah, Ric Flair from what I've heard, and I haven't heard everything. I don't know that much, but I talked to a bunch of people yesterday, and Rick, I guess, went into the hospital for a heart thing. Nobody's really saying exactly what it was.
Yeah,
but he was put into a medically induced coma and then went into surgery.
Wow.
He was out of surgery yesterday, and is not in the greatest shape, but is not in as bad shape as he could.
But he's not going to be in ghost shape. Like he's not going to.
Well, the fact that he's
that's a good haunting.
That's exactly right.
If he passed on and then that's how he haunted.
He's just going to be a ghost just nude with his robe on,
yeah.
His ghost dick hanging out. I would imagine that because we haven't had any terrible news about it yet. That's probably a very good sign.
Good, yeah.
So,
good.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's the greatest of all time.
Hopefully he pulls through and he can put his robe back on and get naked and show his dick off to flight attendants again.
So get tickets for that if you want to see Sam tomorrow night. It's an 8 o'clock thing.
8 o'clock tomorrow night, Wednesday, at the Highline Ballroom
with Dan Soder and other special guests. And just to know, I have tour dates that are now on sale, and some are not going on sale till the end of the week. It's my tour is called Kneeling Room Only, and I'm going to be starting September 22nd. I'm doing Seattle, Portland, Dallas, Austin, Scottsdale, Tucson,
the Rialto,
Viegas. I almost Viegas. I just let your inflection of the Rialto affect the way I said Vegas.
I think that's how you should say Vegas now.
Vegas.
Oh,
I'm going
Jim's
to
playing
Viegas. I'm doing Minneapolis, Madison, Los Angeles, New York, Indianapolis, San Francisco, and Sacramento. That's only September to November. I have a bunch more shit going on sale after that, but those are the ones we have up for right now.
The Roxy. Oh.
In L.A., yeah.
Oh, are you playing the Roxy?
Bad Boy Jim.
You gonna wear your leather pants while you're performing?
Yeah, I have my shirt open. Yeah, vest.
Hello, Los Angeles. Are you ready for well-crafted jokes?
No, it's going to be, what's up, L.A.? My fingers up.
Oh, yeah, what's good? It's good to be back in L.A. It's me, James Norton.
You're going to get the Guns N' Roses intro from Hollywood, California.
Hollywood.
Jim Norton.
Yeah, that's November the 3rd. I'm doing L.A. We chose that room specifically for a reason.
So you can be Jim Effin Norton?
Oh.
That's so cool.
No, it's a good size to have for me.
Oh, okay.
It's not huge.
Oh, because it's not as big as some of the other rooms?
And it's right where I want to be in West Hollywood. I love where the Roxy is. I can walk there from my hotel.
It's the effing Roxy, man.
Yeah, I've already done the Viper Room. Why not the Roxy?
Hey.
Whoa.
I was the first comedian to ever do the Viper Room.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
You should join Johnny Depp's band.
Yeah.
He asked me to.
He did?
Yeah, he asked me to play the skin flute.
What are they called?
Oh, Hollywood Nightmare or something?
No, it's not the
Hollywood Vampires?
Yep.
Hollywood Vampires is right. Speaking of things to go bump in the night, I feel like some of our fellow radio shows on the channel are getting haunted by
haunting phone calls,
mysterious ghosts calling in. Do you like the or do you know of the Covino and Rich radio show, Dan?
Yeah.
You know they're on the channel now.
Are they? Okay, yeah. I was on their show years ago.
They're on after us.
Okay.
Yeah, they're Los Angeles based now, but they're on after us. And
they look like a movie version of a radio show.
They really are, aren't they?
Casted a movie like for a radio show. Good looking guys.
They're very good looking guys. But they were. This video was sent to us. Somebody captured the video is just audio. Actually, the audio was sent to us. Somebody captured a phone call that came to the Covino and Rich show that they apparently did not know how to take.
We only need to hear the first couple of. We don't need to hear the whole minute. But
right.
Edgar in New Jersey. What's up, man?
Okay, wait. Hit pause.
Yeah, I already know.
That's you know.
Yeah,
you like
hit
this?
play. Yeah,
Okay.
immediately.
Okay.
It's
okay. Go ahead.
What's up, man? Wrap it up, Edgar.
My teeth are dry.
Hello,
Edgar? I just wanted to say that I was happy that you guys are replacing the vulgar Jason Ellis.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'll tell you,
That's the only downside of this channel. You get a fucking bunch of mutants.
I'll tell you, let this guy ruin a great 45 minutes of radio.
That ruined it?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay,
I made a phone call.
Oh.
Was that really you, Edgar?
Upper files.
Oh,
hurts.
Man, I didn't know mutants were listening to the channel.
That's great.
Oh, I did.
Oh, Sam, you should pay attention to your Twitter more.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, so Edgar
Ghost Dad. Oh man, Zach Soto. How did I? Yeah, that would have been a great.
Be a ghost asshole rapist. Ghost Dad.
I wonder if anybody else will call Covino and Rich's show.
I hope not. They shouldn't do the characters.
I don't think so either.
Especially, because Edgar Mellencamp is not fun. Neither is Craig Schenkel.
No, Craig Schenkel. Yeah, the worst would be if Craig Schenkel started trying to shoehorn in hip hop history into this show.
I wouldn't mind if. I mean,
nobody would like it.
It would be tragic if Uncle Paul tried to call up about.
No, that wouldn't be right at all.
No.
About asking about young Covino and Rich.
You mean Uncle Paul Hargis? No, that wouldn't be right.
Yeah, Paul. Don't say Uncle Paul.
Just Paul Hargis.
Yeah. Or Lyle.
I would kill for a Lyle call-in. I'm going to fucking... You're going to have me listening to Covino and Rich just for a Lyle call-in.
Definitely don't want any of them to call.
Definitely not.
Sudley.
Right. Who's Sudley?
That's one I never did on the radio.
Well, then how could Sudley...
Then how did would anyone know that?
I mentioned him years ago.
Oh, okay.
What is Sudley's deal?
He was just kind of big, and he was very sloppy, and he would drool a lot.
Okay.
So I would always just like lick my ex-girlfriend's neck and go, "I love you," like Sudley. She hated it.
You know what? Something tells me there will be a Sudley call.
Fuck it. Put Sudley on the list.
She hated Sudley.
Although, I don't know, the way Covino and Rich were yelling at their call screener about ruining 45 minutes of radio or whatever, it seems like they're going to be on high alert.
Yeah, they go after pure perfection every hour of radio.
Oh, yeah.
Like figure skaters. They're like, we fell, and that ruined the whole routine.
Do you think every 30 seconds they're just sitting there like, okay, that's another 30. Yep, still perfect. Still perfect. Perfect.
If that's the case, Jay and I show the bonfire is just us running on ice and sneakers. That's our entire radio show where sometimes we hit it and slide and you're like, ah! And then most of the time it's like, I fell again. Yeah. I fell again.
But every now and then it's, oh my God, did we just do a trick?
Yeah.
Did you just see that?
You just whipped me in the air.
I think I did, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think...
I hope nobody else calls. Don't disrupt their stuff.
I would discourage that. They're trying to get something done. The last thing you want to do is especially like if they're on a roll with something, the last thing you want to do is call in as if you're going to contribute and then really disrupt things. Because you've seen how Jim's characters, I mean, even on our show, they disrupt our show.
They do ruin things.
So the last thing that I would want is for those characters to start disrupting another show.
As a guest of the show, I think it only enhances it.
Really?
But Edgar's so slow. He ruins a conversation.
Yeah.
No one's happy to hear that.
Pure mutants. All your little voices.
But I think that I like that they get the characters right because, I guess
it's a sign of affection that they do the characters.
It's also like Edgar talks about his teeth being dry. Like when you think about Edgar, you think about dry teeth and April Falls, right? You sometimes forget about his high moral compass.
Yeah.
So the fact that Edgar called up and said that he was glad that the vulgar Jason Ellis was no longer on.
Oh, did he say vulgar?
Yeah, that is something that Edgar would have a problem with.
I didn't hear the word vulgar. I'm glad you replaced the vulgar.
Jason Ellis. And he is.
And do you think they're aware that it's a character from here?
No, definitely not.
Absolutely not.
No, they don't know what's going on.
I think Edgar's very underrated.
You do?
Yeah.
I do too.
As a person.
As a character, I give him bronze.
Who do you give silver to?
Uncle Paul.
Really?
Paul Hargis.
Oh,
Uncle Paul's just made me laugh too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
of course,
obviously,
Lyle's fucking.
Lyle
I guess so, but I don't know. Sometimes I give
that. Yeah, no.
Personally, I give the gold to Uncle Paul.
And I mean, Uncle Paul just has the best ones where it just gets descriptive and it makes your skin crawl. But Lyle's, come on.
Well, Lyle works on more of a universal basis.
Lyle's an undisputed hit.
Right.
You can't get in. It's Beatlemania.
Uncle Paul has a
Chippermania.
Fuck yeah.
Chipper fucking mania.
Fucking hanging out in a
yellow.
Yeah, yellow boat.
Oh,
submarine.
God.
It was submarine was the word.
Yeah,
I gave you the first one.
I talked too soon.
Yeah.
Maybe Uncle Paul's better at the most.
Oh, I already see the first hashtag, Mutants Unite.
Oh!
Wait a minute.
Are you guys going to try to get a mutants rally?
Remember when Hillary Clinton said that
the deplorables.
The deplorables.
Yeah.
And then all of Trump supporters were like, "Fuck yeah, deplorables."
Yeah, that's a middle school bus move where someone's bullying you and you try to come back and be like, "Yeah, well, you're just a fucking snot face," and they're like, whatever snot face is. And you're like, "Don't take that and run with it.
And
Stop."
Everybody in the back of the bus is snot faces,
and then they're throwing stuff at you,
and you don't get to be one.
Exactly, and you're all fucking hate you.
You wish you got to be a snot face.
You want to be a snot face.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wish you got to be one of the mutants, man.
You're not cool enough to be a mutant.
Someone has a question for you, Sam. Dan in Ohio has a question. For Troy. Sorry, yes.
Dan!
All right, he hung up. Good. Fuck him.
What was the question?
I'm guessing it was ghost hunter stuff.
Oh.
That's all. He didn't.
You believe in ghosts, Troy?
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Boo! Did I get you? That was me. That was not a ghost. Okay, cool.
Frightened me.
His documentary I thought was pretty good. Man. I've never seen ghosts. I do think that, things live in other dimensions.
Yeah. I've never seen ghosts. What the fuck? Did you guys just see that pen fly through the air?
No.
Yeah, it was just flying. It was incredible.
I don't believe in you.
Yeah. Anyway, I've never seen ghosts. What the hell?
I hope
Did you
your
guys
phone
just see my phone
If
fly
it
through
broke,
the air?
nothing would make me happy.
I will believe in ghosts 1,000% if your screen is
I'd
completely
suck a
shattered.
ghost dick if your phone broke.
I threw my phone like that guy kicked the statue. It was very timid, and with knowing that I couldn't actually throw it.
By the way, why don't we have W. Kamau Bell on the show today? We said yes to him. We would love to have him. He's doing another show. I'm trying to text Roland.
Not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Roland hasn't gotten Bizac to you?
Yeah.
Travis, have
we
you
find
heard?
out that his publicist say no? I mean, I know Kamau.
Have you heard, Travis? Is there a Kamau Bell controversy?
Not that I know of.
Oh.
I'll text Roland.
Yeah, I tried.
That
He didn't
works,
get-
right?
We said yes to him, yeah. I like the guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not on our end.
Did you guys see that the Taylor Swift case has been...
Yeah, I was in Colorado last weekend, and it was all over the news there because it happened in Denver.
Oh, really?
Where the guy grabbed her butt.
Oh, so he was like the morning guy over
He's
there.
like, yeah, it was. It was like the Z100 or whatever it was there. I forget what the.
It seems pretty realistic because where his hand is in that picture does not look good.
No, and yeah, he sounds like a guy that hit on a girl that got denied, and then now he's like back claiming like, I would never do that. Why would I even do that? It's just fucking gross. I wouldn't do that. Like,
I didn't even like butts.
Gross.
I'm a titty guy.
And she said something about it right after it happened. It's not like she said it a year later.
And she won. Hey, wait, she won $1?
She only countersued him for $1. She's not looking to bankrupt him. She's probably going to go after legal fees now.
Yeah,
that's what they said. It was $1 and legal fees is what she was going after. And I don't think she was looking to bankrupt him either. I think she was just looking to drag it on in court a little bit and make a big show of it because. I mean, she's saying that, because she has the means to fight this, that she wants to be able to be a role model.
Well, he sued her for $3 million. So not only did she, because he was probably thinking she'd settle, and she went, fuck you, and I'm suing you back for $1.
Yeah.
And legal fees. And here's what may happen. They may grant the legal fees, which they don't do too often, but they may.
Yeah.
And if they do, she may say, what I want is an admission and an apology, and then I'll eat my own legal fees. That's my guess if it happens.
So she's just going after vindication for this.
She doesn't need. I mean, Taylor Swift doesn't care about fucking this. The amount of money. This is nothing to her.
I think she lives in like a $36 million apartment in New York.
Yeah,
so she's okay.
But I like her in this, and I like the way she testified. She testified like someone who was telling the truth from what we could read.
She said that on Thursday, Swift confidently told an 8-member jury that this guy grabbed her and, quote, stayed latched on to my bare ass cheek as I moved away from him, visibly uncomfortable.
The problem, is there any video of it? And why didn't she say something there? Like, I guess
she
it's
did
awkward.
say something there.
In that moment, like, what are you touching me for?
I think she said I read, and I wish I had that article because there's so many articles in this case. But she didn't say. I don't think she said anything to him. I think she said something
to her mother.
Right.
I read that, but I'm like, why didn't she say to him? I guess it's awkward when it happens.
She probably didn't know how to react immediately.
And when did it happen? Like
at a meet and greet.
No, but like when?
2013.
2013.
Yeah.
How old's she now? She was
27 now.
Okay, so she was. in
It's
her
not an
20s.
age thing.
Yeah.
Do you think he told his friends? If he did it, do you think he told his friends? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. He's probably hammered at her concert. He goes, bro, you want to know something crazy? I grabbed your ass.
Oh, he may have been hammered too. You know,
like, yeah, dude, yeah, no, those guys, and radio employees, they're all hammered at their own event, and they think it's like their event, even though it's Taylor Swift.
You look at the photo of the guy too, and he's
He looks
totally
completely like an ass grabber.
Yeah, and the guy who was probably thought he was getting. I was getting vibes off of Taylor. I think I'm going to go for the ass.
She gave me a long hug, and we were taking a picture. I was grabbed cheek.
Yeah, Taylor Swift was giving me the eyes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, bro. Look it up. I mean, that picture is real tough to be like.
She was giving me the fuck me eyes.
Does that moving away from him too?
Yeah, that looks really bad. And
He
then
does look like
that's his girlfriend with her, just like I love Taylor.
And he said he touched her rib, but come on, man.
He said he touched her rib?
Where?
Yeah.
Taylor, I mean, that picture is fucking tough.
Maybe
to
the rib she ate last night.
Right.
Yeah.
He's poking around in there.
He goes, "Oh, you had some red meat last night."
McRib.
Look at how. Yeah, that's a fucking tough photo to be like. I was grabbing a rib.
Nice cheek.
We have 1 minute to wrap up. Tomorrow, Samuel, I want to discuss this D.B. Cooper new evidence.
Oh, I love D.B. Cooper stories.
I do too.
Well, we'll talk about that tomorrow. That's tomorrow during the morning. Tomorrow during the evening, Wednesday, Dan Soder is going to join me at the live Sam Roberts Wrestling Podcast at the Highline Ballroom. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, get tickets at highlineballroom.com.
And if you want to see my tour, please check out jimnorton.com. And a lot of days. I can't wait to get. I'm doing Vegas. I'm doing the Tropicana.
Vegas.
Fun.
Old school.
Yeah.
It's a nice theater, though. Well, whatever. Who cares? Why am I
And then what
saying
you guys
this?
on Dan Soder? The Bonfire?
Bonfire, Monday through Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m. on Comedy Central.
Oh, I didn't know
Radio.
you were doing 4 nights now.
Yeah, 4 nights a week.
Do you guys tape live?
Monday through Wednesday, and then we have like a Frankenstein episode on Thursday.
All right, Letterman.
Yeah, all right. Well, you did it the best. Actually, Bennington was the one that told us to do that. He's like, you guys should do that. That way it won't burn you out.
Just bank a show?
Yeah, or just make one throughout the week. That's just there.
Oh, interesting. So after every show, you just do an
do it
extra
before.
break.
We do like 5 to 6 for Thursday, and then we do 6 to 8
Interesting.
live.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it works. And then that way you can just still do spots and go on the road on Thursdays. So it works out great.
Cool.
I want to. Dan's hard to get on the Chip podcast because you're so busy. I didn't realize you were doing 4 nights a week. That makes sense.
Yeah. Because I definitely want to get back on the Chip podcast. That was a fucking blast.
Me and Sammy have to come back on too.
Anytime Chip will have me.
Now I'm gonna go watch a bunch of fucking ghost documentaries.
Me too. Yeah, I'm gonna do that too.
I was even asking Traquan for Alien one, UFOs. I'll go UFOs.
I'll probably just watch The Conjuring again.
Okay.
I won't watch any of those things.
I watched the new Annabelle over the weekend in theater. It was good.
Good?
Yeah, it was good.
All right, guys. Thanks, Dan. Always awesome to have you in here. I'm sorry I'm so sick today.
It's all right. I forgive you.
All right, guys. God bless.